For the past week, I've been watching Fairy Tail non-stop, and you just know with me being a YouTuber, I had to make a video about Naruto and Fairy Tail. So I started thinking, whose powers am I going to combine with the Naruto universe? Will I use Natsu, Urza, Gray, Makarov, Loxus, Gajil? Who am I going to use? There's so many great magics in the Fairy Tail world that would genuinely do so much damage in the Naruto world, but that's when I started thinking, Lucy's abilities and powers are so unbelievably unique, and they would probably mesh so well with the Naruto universe themselves, considering that she summons celestial spirits and Naruto has the ability to summon creatures. So I figured, hey, let's combine the two and see what happens. So if you want to find out what happens in today's awesome video, then make sure you stick around to the end of the video to find out. But with all that out of the way, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to leave a like on the video, seeing as it only takes 1 second and it seriously makes a massive difference. That said, enjoy. This specific story has two ways this can go. A, Naruto discovers this ability when he's younger, or B, Naruto discovers this ability when he's being trained by Jiraiya, specifically during the 1-month training exam when Jiraiya would actually teach Naruto the summoning jutsu. Here is the first scenario that we're going to cover, and I'm not fully going to cover it. I just want to cover this funny scene, which I was going to go with this one at first when I hit record, but in my mind, honestly, I wanted to go with this different scenario. So we're going to start off with this one, but you know, this one doesn't count. This is more of just for laughs. This is sort of a extra what if that I'm giving you guys for no extra charge, you know, just hit the like button and all is forgiven. But yeah, so Jiraiya would look at Naruto and he'd be like, all right, Naruto, so here's how it's done. Explaining to Naruto exactly how the summoning jutsu is done, with Naruto looking at Jiraiya and being like, so this is all I have to do? Believe it, you know what I mean? Just looking at Jiraiya and saying, oh, I'll be a summoning master in no time. With Jiraiya, you know, smiling and looking at Naruto. As suddenly, Naruto would begin charging all of his chakra. He would like create a little bit of blood from his thumb, and then he would slam his hand on the ground and go, summoning jutsu. It'd be in this moment that Naruto would like just watch Jiraiya, as Jiraiya would just stare, and instantly, like the first spirit that Naruto would ever summon would be Ares, right? And Jiraiya would see that, and instantly bro would have a nosebleed moment, with Naruto being like, what? And Ares would look at Naruto saying, did you summon me? You know, like in the very like nice voice that she has, with Naruto saying, yeah, so you're my summoning contract, so what do we gotta do? And Ares looks at Naruto and says, oh, well, I'm available these days, so if you want to make the contract now, we can do it. And Naruto would say, what do you mean? You're only available a couple of days? With Ares saying, yeah, that's how celestial spirits work, didn't you know? With Naruto looking at her and asking, what's a celestial spirit? Ares would look at Naruto and just be like, you don't know? And she would ask how he summoned her without a key, with Naruto saying that he doesn't know, but he did it. And from here, she would just look at Naruto like with her head tilted to the side, just being like, interesting. As from here, she would go on to basically explain to Naruto how celestial spirits work, how they have contracts, how Naruto can summon them on specific days, and how summoning each one of them will actually end up draining Naruto of his magical energy, or in this case, his chakra. Ares is a celestial spirit that doesn't take up that much of your energy, so Naruto was able to summon her as his first summoning. And it would be from this point that Ares would just look at Naruto after having explained everything, and she would be like, okay, well, is that all you need, Naruto? And from here, Naruto would look at her and just be like, yeah, so what can you do? And she would basically create a little bit of that cloud substance that Ares is able to use, as Jiraiya would finally get up and look at her and be like, so you're able to make these abilities, like twiddling his fingers, just being a complete dummy that Jiraiya is known to be, right? I'm not gonna go too much into detail, just because like obviously, like, you know, it's a little comedic when you take it to a little bit, but when you go too far with it, I feel like it's just doing the most. So yeah, there's a funny moment with Jiraiya there, and then suddenly Naruto would just like look at Ares, figure out like all these contracts and stuff, and Jiraiya right after Ares would disappear, he would like leave his whole like flirty state, like, oh, he's like blushing super hard, and he would snap back into reality, looking at Naruto and just be like, okay, Naruto, so do you know what else you can do? And Naruto would look at Jiraiya and just be like, well, I'm not sure, but I guess I could try to summon another spirit, as Naruto would do it again and be like, summoning jutsu. And the last thing that Ares told him was that he should try summoning Cancer. So Naruto would slam his hand on the ground and be like, Cancer, as Cancer would end up basically just summoning, like Cancer would be the one that he would summon, and he would come out and be like, baby, you know what I mean? As Naruto looks at Cancer and he's like, whoa, like, you're another one of my summonings? With Cancer just looking at Naruto and being like, that's right, baby, you know what I mean? As Jiraiya would look at him and be like, what's up with that calling me baby and stuff like that. And then like Cancer would just look at him and be like, oh, would you prefer me to say something else? And Naruto would say, nah, it's funny, call him a baby all day. As Cancer would say, right. And like then Naruto would ask him like how his contract works, yada yada yada. And then from here, you know, we have like a couple of funny moments and stuff like that. But that is all I'm going to be talking about. I really just wanted to have like that little introduction, like that joke moment. So now we're going to jump into the actual like story of how I want this to specifically go. All right, now we're going to jump straight into the point of view of Naruto. This is going to be right after Naruto stole the scroll of sealing, and once Iruka would have ended up basically coming in and tanking the kunais and shurikens for Naruto like he would in the first episode. Now we jump into Mizuki. Mizuki's point of view is he would scream out to Iruka, "To think you'd be willing to die over that brat. It's pitiful. But since you insist, I'll grant you your wish." Rushing in towards the direction of Iruka with a gigantic shuriken as Naruto would come in, kicking Mizuki back, telling him, "If you ever try to hurt my sensei, I'll kill you." Just like he does in the original, right? But right after this, Naruto would say, "I hope this works," as he slams his hand on the ground and says, "Summoning Jutsu." Suddenly, he would summon a celestial spirit, and this specific celestial spirit would be perfect for the job. It would be Taurus, right? Now, Taurus would look at Naruto and be like, "Moo," just looking at his direction and be like, "What do you need?" As Naruto would look at him and be like, "Can you beat that guy for me?" And Taurus would say, "Sure thing," as he would grab his gigantic axe and spin it around, just being like, as the little fairy tale music would start playing, like, you guys know what I'm talking about, right? And Taurus would literally just lunge towards the direction of Mizuki as he swings his axe once, and then would send him flying Team Rocket style, with Mizuki instantly being taken out. From here, Iruka would be staring in complete disbelief at Naruto's performance of the summoning jutsu, just being like, "Naruto, do you have any idea what you've just done? You've summoned something like that's like a Chunin ability or Jonin or whatever," he would say, right? As Naruto would say, "That's awesome," and Taurus would say, "Yeah, it's very, very impressive. You're a celestial wizard. That must be." Being like, he's a very powerful celestial wizard to have summoned me on the first try. With Iruka and Naruto both being like, "You said what?" And Taurus then explaining like, "You don't know." Just, I'm sorry, y'all. I just gotta do it. He would look at Naruto and be like, "You don't know?" You know what I mean? And Naruto just looks at Taurus and he would just be like, "No, I don't know. Like, what's going on?" With Taurus basically explaining the summoning contracts and being super, super shocked that Naruto doesn't actually have gate keys, but Naruto straight up summoned him by opening his key, like his gate key. Like it's insane. And Taurus would be just absolutely stunned by that, saying that all in all, there's 12 of them. There's 12 golden keys, or in this instance, there's 12 the powerful spirits, and then there's silver keys, which are a little bit weaker than them, but they're very powerful and they all have different uses. He would explain that to Naruto, and Naruto would be like, "Oh, right. Well, it looks like I have a couple of great summonings." As Taurus would say, "Well, I'll be at your service, Naruto. Summon me whenever you want." Or no. Whenever you want. I don't know, bro. That just didn't fit. I completely butchered that. But yeah, no, Naruto from here would smile. Himself and Iruka would end up basically going to Ichiraku Ramen, where Naruto would be given a nice, fat, juicy bowl of ramen. He would devour that thing, and right after that would happen, Naruto's summoning would be a question by Iruka, who would say he's never met a summoning that had those abilities, or a summoning that said that there was 12 that go along with him, telling Naruto that his summoning jutsu must be extremely special. So Naruto would then be given his Genin headband. Hiruzen would be filled in on this crazy ability, which Hiruzen would just allude to being like, "Oh, it's probably like a Kike Genkai summoning or something new, you know?" as Naruto from here would then go to class the next day, where he would be placed on a team 7, and we would then get the introductions. Naruto from here would say that his goal is to become the Hokage and become the greatest celestial wizard that's ever existed, as Naruto would have a bit of a flashback to him talking to Taurus and asking him a couple of things about previous celestial wizards, who he's worked for, and yada yada yada. And Taurus would say that his best celestial wizard has to be Lucy, as you know, he says she has a rocking body. You know what I mean? Oh, like, dude, that'll never get old. But yeah, Naruto would look at him and say, oh, like, what was she like? And he ends up getting like history on like the things Lucy did, how she saved Leo, like all the crazy things that happened, with Taurus basically explaining to Naruto that, yeah, like, celestial spirits are very powerful, but it all depends on the user how much power the celestial spirits can draw out. And Naruto would say, well, how much of your power can you draw out, Taurus? With Taurus saying that with him, at his current state, about 20% of his power. With Naruto saying, so wait, you mean to tell me what you did yesterday wasn't your full power? And Taurus would be like, no, you need to become stronger, Naruto. With Naruto saying, okay, all right, well, that makes sense. And from here, Naruto would just like snap back into reality, with Kakashi like lifting an eyebrow, being like, celestial wizard, like, what is he talking about? But ultimately just sort of being like, yeah, cool, Naruto. And then telling the team that they basically have to meet up on the training grounds the next day for their bell test, right? Right after this, Naruto would end up going home, and he would end up basically summoning another spirit. As in here, Naruto would end up meeting Cancer, who would immediately be summoned and be like, baby. With Naruto looking at him and be like, yo, you're a crab. And Cancer just being like, yeah, name's Cancer, you know what I mean? And from here, Naruto would just like have like a huge laugh. Him and Cancer go on to create a contract, and he would ask Cancer a couple of questions, like asking what his abilities are, like when he's available, yada yada yada. And Cancer would say that his availability is actually like a lot better than like most other spirits, saying he's mostly always available. As Naruto would just like have a huge smile on his face and say, well, I can't wait to work with you. As Cancer would be like, baby, as he would like disappear, right? And then suddenly Naruto would realize that he like wasted practically half of his chakra doing that. And so now he would think to himself, okay, well, I can probably summon one more spirit. And suddenly Naruto would end up summoning Ares, who would be like, pfft. She would appear, and suddenly Ares would just look at Naruto, just be like, hi, you know what I mean? Like in her timid voice, as Naruto looks at her and goes, whoa, I summoned a girl? And Ares would be like, yeah, I'm Ares, you know what I mean? Naruto from here would go on to ask her like, okay, well, like what powers do you have? You know what I mean? And then Ares would be like, well, I have the ability to, as she shows him that, and she tells Naruto she can like shoot her horns and stuff. And you know, she's pretty decent at hand-to-hand combat, with Naruto looking at her and being like, that's awesome. You know what I mean? Just being like, you're probably going to be one of my favorite celestial spirits. Asking her how often she's available and things of that nature, right? And from here, Naruto would just like have like a huge smile on his face, and Ares would like finally like let up to Naruto, being like, oh, I actually like this kid. As Naruto would ask Ares, you know, like when he can summon her, they would make a contract, and then suddenly Naruto would realize like, oh, I'm very tired. And Ares would say, well, feel free to summon me whenever you'd like, with Naruto saying, will do. And he would basically close her gate, as suddenly Naruto would lay down in his bed and pass out. As the next morning, Naruto would have been so drained from using that much chakra, because like, mind you, it's not that he summoned Cancer, but it's that he summoned Ares, who definitely drains like more of his energy. And Naruto isn't accustomed to like summoning celestial spirits, and the more he does it, the more spirits he'll be able to summon, and eventually he'll be able to summon like 2 at a time and stuff, like just like Lucy can, right? But for now, Naruto would basically just be stuck with this current ability that he has. And the very next day, Naruto would end up basically arriving at the bell test area, right? Now Naruto, like I said, he'd be running late, so he would literally get there like 15 minutes before Kakashi, be like, am I late? And Sakura and Sasuke would look at him and be like, you're not late, Naruto, but if Kakashi would have been here on time, you would be. As from here, Kakashi would arrive 15 minutes later, and Naruto would be pumped up with energy, just being like, oh, well, I can't wait to fight him, believe it, you know what I mean? As Kakashi would then go on to explain the rules, and Naruto would say, so you mean to tell me I just need to get that bell? Well, that's gonna be easy, believe it. As I'm sorry, I didn't stop saying that. But Naruto in this moment would just look towards Kakashi, and the second that Kakashi starts counting down, he's like 3, 2, 1. Naruto would just stand there. as Sakura and Sasuke would have both gone into hiding, like waiting to like lunge on Kakashi and like catch him off guard. But Naruto would just stand there with Kakashi asking him if he's really as dumb as he looks. And Naruto would say, I'm not as dumb as I look, with him realizing immediately what just came out of his mouth, saying, hey, who are you to talk to me like that? As he would say, summoning jutsu, slam his hand on the ground as instantly Cancer would appear. And Naruto would say, Cancer, get those bells for me. With Cancer saying, all right, baby. As he would rush in towards the direction of Kakashi and like literally lunging at him, he would like go in with his claws. With Kakashi thinking he didn't need to like put away his book, but instantly Cancer would literally cut up Kakashi's like his book that he was reading, Make Out Paradise, right? And Kakashi instantly, like, it's like a tear would pop out from his eye. Like he's like, no, as Cancer would be like, baby, pay attention to me, you know what I mean? As like Cancer like starts going in, like trying to like cut Kakashi like with his claws, but it's just not, or no, not with his claws, but actually with the scissors. As Kakashi would just be sitting there dodging, weaving, and he would eventually like just jump up into the air as he shoots a fireball jutsu point blank at Cancer, followed by kicking him in the stomach and sending Cancer flying. This would cause Cancer to like close his gate, and in that moment Naruto would be sitting there like, what? He beat Cancer? As it'd be in this moment that Naruto would say, all right then, how about this? As he summons Taurus, and instantly Taurus would come out, as Kakashi would then stare and see this gigantic bull that Naruto would have just summoned, being like, how's Naruto doing this? Like, to think that Naruto not only has the summoning jutsu, but he's able to summon this many people at once. Like, it's absolutely ludicrous for Kakashi to even think about, right? And Naruto looks at Taurus and would go, Taurus, beat him under any means necessary. As Taurus would look at him and go, will do. You know what I mean? As from here, Naruto would just like watch as Taurus would spin his axe and rush in, like the little fairy tale music would start playing, and Taurus would like just rush in, like start swinging his axe, with Kakashi like doing his best, eventually whipping a kunai out and like whipping two kunais out, actually, sorry, as he would hold Taurus's axe back and realize that Taurus is a lot stronger than the other guy. As Taurus would begin like pushing down, and Kakashi would end up substituting out of there, and Taurus would slash like this wooden log in half and suddenly turn around, as Kakashi would appear behind him holding a kunai to his back, with Taurus saying, with Taurus being like, all right, and like grabbing his axe and like turning to like go to slash at him, but Kakashi would like whoosh, like slash Taurus in his back, jump back, and instantly create a mud wall jutsu, as Taurus would come in, slash at it, destroying it completely, and Kakashi would jump back like 4 times, as he would then create the shadow clone jutsu, and the shadow clones would rush in at Taurus, who would take each of them out individually, until eventually Kakashi would come in himself, lifting his headband for a moment, as he would place Taurus under a genjutsu, and Taurus would like start swinging at nothing, just being like Naruto, how am I doing? You know what I mean? As you know, like he's thinking that he's absolutely destroying Kakashi, but in reality, he's literally just swinging at the air, with Naruto being like, hey Taurus, he's over there, and then being like, I can't believe it, as he closes Taurus's gate and says, I gotta do everything myself, rushing in towards Kakashi's direction with a kunai, as eventually Naruto would be absolutely defeated by Kakashi, who was like taking him as nothing more than a joke, and Naruto would eventually be caught off guard, as you know, like Naruto would be tied to the stump. And right after this, Sasuke would make his introduction, as he tries to face off against Kakashi, doing decently well, but not as well as Taurus did. Definitely better than Cancer though. As from here, the team, just like in the original, would end up passing by giving Naruto their food, because honestly, even if Naruto was to summon Leo at this point, Leo would match Kakashi in terms of power, or actually that's not true. I feel like Leo would actually beat Kakashi, but all I'm trying to get to is like, Naruto still doesn't have the well, if he only summoned Leo, he could, but like at this point, he still doesn't have a contract with Leo, and he still hasn't tried to summon Leo, so he doesn't have access to that. But Naruto would still end up passing, just like I said. a character that I think definitely could actually give Kakashi a run for his money, that Naruto could definitely summon, would be Gemini, who could turn into Kakashi, and it'd be really funny seeing Kakashi have to deal with himself. Like, that'd be hilarious. But for now, we're not gonna jump into that territory, and instead we're just gonna say that the team wins by this means, because I don't want Naruto to like be that like strong off rip. I mean, obviously he could summon them, but that's something that I want Naruto to summon for like different, for a different fight. Like I have different scenarios planned out for stuff like that, right? But anyways, they pass, and after this we would get 2 weeks worth of Naruto in the group basically training. As over these next two weeks, Naruto would form a summoning contract with more celestial spirits. Number one, forming one with Aquarius, as he would have ended up learning to do that by basically summoning one of them as he was at the hot springs, realizing that Aquarius can only actually be summoned in water. So Naruto, realizing this, would actually have a really big, like, this would be a huge deal for the battle in the land of the waves, considering that it's the land of the waves. So yeah, and one thing that I do have to mention is that Aquarius like didn't like Lucy because she was a girl, or at least like that was the whole like joke, you know what I mean? But since Naruto is like a young kid, you know, he's like a boy, like obviously Aquarius still isn't very fond of like being summoned or stuff like that. But after having her like encounters with Lucy and stuff like that, I think that she would be like nice to Naruto. Plus, seeing that Naruto is like a nice kid, and like Aquarius would like definitely poke fun at him, like she'd be like, oh, who summoned me? As she sees Naruto standing there like completely naked, and like she's just like, you summoned me? And Naruto would be like, you bet I did, believe it. With him basically saying that, asking her like, you know, what's her powers, with Aquarius like using her like jar of water and like just absolutely destroying Naruto there, and she's like, those are my powers, with Naruto saying, hey, what's the big deal? I didn't summon you so you could beat me up. As he's like, but you are pretty powerful, you think you could teach me how to fight like you? And Aquarius like hearing that come from Naruto, like he like, oh, of course he was annoyed, but like he was like more like amazed at her than anything, you know what I mean? So Naruto from here would look at Aquarius, and like Aquarius is just like, you know, well, you know what, kid, like you're not half bad. As from here, Naruto would like smile, and like he would have like a really cool funny moment with Aquarius or whatever. And then right after this, Naruto would end up finally summoning another spirit, as he would dry himself up and like basically be like at his house now, right? As Naruto would say, all right then, summoning jutsu. As you know, he would have asked Aquarius like, who's another cool spirit that he could summon? And Aquarius obviously would say her boyfriend Scorpio. So Naruto instantly would summon Scorpio, and Scorpio would appear as he's like, all right. And like Naruto from here would like look at him and be like, you're so cool, just like having his eyes filled with like star shimmers, as like Scorpio would just sit there and like be like, and would like literally ask Naruto like how he summoned him without a key, being stunned. But he would then realize that Naruto must be special or something like that, right? With Naruto looking towards the direction of Scorpio and just asking what his powers are. And Scorpio would use his tail. He would shoot like a sand towards the direction of one of Naruto's like furnitures that wasn't like that pricey or whatever, or something that he doesn't use anymore, right? And it would be absolutely destroyed, with Naruto looking at him and going, you use sand jutsu? And Scorpio would look at him and be like, sand magic, yeah. As Naruto would say, that's so cool. And he would end up having like a nice little talking point with Scorpio, as Scorpio basically ends up telling Naruto that he should consider maybe having a change of clothes, with Naruto looking at him and being like, what do you mean? And Scorpio saying that outfit just isn't cool enough, right? And Naruto would just look at him and be like, you know what, maybe you are right, maybe I do need a change of clothes, asking Scorpio what he thinks would be pretty cool. And Scorpio would tell him he doesn't know, but definitely something black, maybe red, as he would like, his gate would like close, and Naruto would sit there just thinking about it. Something black, huh? As he would make his way towards one of the village shops and think to himself that with these last couple of 2 weeks worth of missions that he's done, he probably has enough to change his outfit. So now what Naruto would do is make his way there, and he would get himself like a basically just change his whole outfit like style, as he would get himself this black like jacket that's similar to the one that he already has, except it's just black. The zipper is silver. There's like this he has like the Uzumaki emblem on his back as well as on his shoulder, so that's like the orange popping. And Naruto would actually hold this headband, instead of having it on his hair, he would actually put it on around his arm, so that like it would cover the other side. One side would have the Uzumaki emblem, the other side would have the village headband, just like Shikamaru does. And Naruto would just look at himself and be like, you know what, that ain't half bad. As Naruto then looks at his pants and he's like, all right, well, guess I gotta change these now. As Naruto would instantly change into these like black pants, and then right after this, he would look at his shoes and just be like, well, he had these really cool boots on. So he's like, all right, well, this is the last of my money, but I guess I'll look cooler, right? As from here, Naruto would buy himself these like cool looking like rugged boots that are like shinobi style. Like they're just really cool looking, honestly. Like they just look like these rugged black boots, right? As Naruto would put them on, and that would be Naruto's new drip. As it'd be in this moment that Naruto would now make his way towards the team, as they were actually summoned to Hiruzen's office. And when Naruto would arrive, Sakura, Kakashi, and Sasuke would instantly take note of Naruto's new outfit change. Be like, whoa, Naruto, you actually, like, Sakura even looks at Naruto and would like blush slightly, be like, Naruto looks kind of, before like just like being like, no, I couldn't think that. Sasuke's the only cute one, you know? As Naruto would have his hair down this time around, and he would look at Sasuke just being like, what do you think, Sasuke? Pretty cool, huh? With Sasuke saying, you don't look as lame as before, loser, but saying that ultimately he still doesn't look that cool. And Naruto would just be like, whatever, Sasuke. As from here, we would now get the team basically being told that they have another D rank mission, but Naruto would just be like, seriously, Hokage, another D rank mission? Like, when are we gonna go on a real mission? With Hiruzen just looking at Naruto and being like, Naruto, real missions are saved for real ninjas. Right now, you guys still haven't proven yourself. With Naruto saying, I'm a real ninja. I can go on a C rank mission or B rank mission, believe it. With Hiruzen just looking at Naruto and being like, really now, Naruto, you really think you can go on a B rank mission? Saying, well, there is one. As from here, he would hit his pipe and then say, summon him here. And suddenly Tazuna would enter the room, as he would be like, huh? This is the team that's here for me? Some girl with pink hair, some kid with a dopey expression, and this other kid, and just being like, I can't believe that this is what I'm paying for. With Hiruzen saying that he did pay for a C rank mission. As from here, Tazuna would just be like muttering stuff under his breath, as eventually Naruto would say, well, I don't like the guy, but I guess I gotta protect him. Believe it. As they would make their way towards the village gates the next day, and nothing happens here. They would still end up making their way towards the land of the waves, and honestly, I would say that Naruto, like, he reacts, like he summons one of his spirits, but he just doesn't have enough time to react and summon one of his spirits in time. So the second that the Demon Brothers make their presence known and they would instantly rush at Naruto, Naruto would be like too stunned to move, like realizing like he can't summon his spirits in time, and like he also can't fight back. They're coming in way too fast. Naruto would be stunned, he's shocked, and he doesn't know what to do. But it'd be in this moment that Sasuke would come in, kick one of the Demon Brothers back, and like basically handle the both of them as best as he can, until eventually Kakashi would make his presence known, defeating the other demon brother and questioning him, as Sasuke would look at Naruto and say, you scared? Scaredy cat? And Naruto would look at Sasuke and just like grimace as he's like, what would Naruto say? Okay, I'll never lose again, believe it, as he would like stab his hand and just be like, I solemnly swear it. With Naruto basically just like having like this cool grin, as Kakashi would be like, well, that was really cool, Naruto. You might die. As from here, Naruto would be like, what? You know, as suddenly Naruto would then be treated, and they would continue on with the mission, with eventually them finally running across like this little white rabbit, which Naruto would freak out about, throwing a kunai at its direction, as suddenly Kakashi would take note of the fact that this is a snow bunny, like this shouldn't be here. And suddenly this gigantic blade would come flying in at their direction, and Naruto would just be like, what is that? Like what's that noise? And Kakashi would just be like, everybody down, as they would all dodge, and suddenly Zabuza would appear on top of them all, just being like, well, if it isn't Kakashi Hatake. And Naruto looking at this, he would think, oh, that guy seems strong. As Naruto would think to himself, like, who do I summon? But suddenly Kakashi would say, you guys stay back. protect the bridge builder, and he would immediately engage in a battle, as Naruto would just watch as Kakashi would face off against Zabuza, and Naruto would say, well, he did say he has it, so I'm gonna trust him, but just in case, realizing that there's water, Naruto would be ready at any given moment to save Kakashi, and so eventually the battle would lead up to Kakashi being trapped, as Naruto now would just be like, well, it looks like I have no choice, summoning Jutsu, Aquarius! As from here, Naruto would summon Aquarius, and Aquarius would look at Naruto asking why she was summoned, with Naruto saying that his sensei got captured by that guy over there, and Aquarius would say, alright then, as she like moves her like water jug thing, and she like just shoots this gigantic tsunami attack at Zabuza, which would completely free Kakashi, but Kakashi would also get caught in the crossfires of the attack, as they would wash up on the other side of the shore, and Aquarius would then just disappear, with Naruto smiling saying thanks Aquarius, and from here Kakashi and Zabuza would have round 2 with Kakashi going all out, but seeing that Zabuza was like completely blown back, Haku would like make his presence known, just being like taking out a kunai and throwing it at the direction of Naruto. As it would hit Naruto would be like, what's the big idea, turning and seeing Haku with his Anbu mask, like pretending to be a member of the people who like, I don't know, just an Anbu member, okay? And then Naruto would just turn towards his direction, just being like, summoning jutsu. Immediately, he would instantly go on to summon, what's it called? He would instantly go on to summon, he would summon Scorpio. Yeah, he would summon Scorpio. And Scorpio would come out as Naruto would be like, Scorpio, take him or her out. I don't know. Judging as Haku has like long hair in this like fight, Naruto would look at Scorpio and would be like, take her out. As Scorpio would say, sounds good. And he would shoot like this sand attack at Haku, who would be stunned, like Sanjutsu. And like he would like basically like rush in, as Scorpio would use a multitude of different sand attacks, trying his best to like hold off like Haku. But Haku was just like so fast that Scorpio was shocked, like Haku was actually keeping up with him, and quite well in fact. And now Naruto was like in the midst of like watching this cool fight, with Sasuke being like, how's Naruto like doing this? Like, how's Naruto summoning these summonings? Like, it's completely unheard of, Sasuke would think to himself, as he would grit his teeth and just be like, how could Naruto summon them and I can't? As from here, Sasuke would get extremely jealous of Naruto, with Naruto realizing that Scorpio was probably going to be losing this fight, because of the fact that Scorpio doesn't have access to all this power, considering Naruto isn't exactly that much of a strong celestial wizard, or his he still isn't like good. He needs to get stronger, and the stronger that Naruto gets, the stronger that Scorpio gets. So Naruto in this moment would realize that, like, okay, well, if he beat her, then Ares will have to, slamming his hand on the ground as he goes, summoning jutsu, Ares. And suddenly Ares would appear, as Sakura would be like, what? You know what I mean? Like, as Sasuke was seeing Ares, would be like, whoa, like now we can summon her. And Naruto in this moment would say, Ares, beat him or beat her, as it would be in this moment that Haku would like lunge in towards the direction of Ares, and Ares would shoot her horns at the direction of Haku, who would actually get hit with them and be sent back a bit, as Haku would say, I don't have time to play games anymore, activating the crystal mirror jutsu on Ares, who would be trapped inside, as multitudes of Senbon would come flying into Ares, hitting her and attacking her, with Naruto saying, Ares, come on, you can do it. And Ares suddenly would finally lock in and shoot her like cloud stuff, right? Like fully covering that entire area with it, to the point where Haku wasn't able to jump from mirror to mirror, because every time he jumped out, he would literally just hit this like cloud, like puffy like thing that Ares is able to produce, right? And he just was having an absolutely hard time like dealing with this, right? So now Naruto gets to a point where he's like, all right, and like Haku's ultimately unable to continue using the jutsu, so he would have to dispel it, and suddenly Ares would continue going fighting more and more, using more of that like little fluff stuff, as Naruto would say, she needs offensive help, like she can keep Haku away, but it looks like I'm gonna need to run in. So Naruto, grabbing his kunai, would just rush in there and would be like, shadow clone jutsu, as he proceeds to like form the multi shadow clone jutsu, since you know he still learns it, right? And Naruto in this moment would rush in at Haku, as Ares keeps shooting more of the cloud stuff, and Ares and Ares would support him as backup, right? And Naruto rushing in, he would begin doing his absolute best to keep up with Haku, but like he just was unable to, right? And then suddenly Sasuke would jump in the way, being like, out of the way, Naruto, as he finally would have his moment to shine. And Naruto and Sasuke, in combination with Ares, who's completely helping them and like literally backing them up way more than you would believe, they would actually be able to defeat Haku, who would end up being taken out by them without Naruto having to go absolutely insane. And following that, Kakashi would actually end up taking out Zabuza completely. Like, this isn't a fight of, oh, he sort of takes him out, he maybe takes him out. No, Zabuza would be completely taken out and Haku would be knocked out cold. Naruto from this moment would end up actually like capturing Haku, tying him up, as he would end up taking the mask off and being like, it was a girl, not knowing that Haku really was a boy, you know what I mean? As from here, Naruto and the rest of the group would make their way towards Tazuna's home, where this would pretty much just be a bit of a formality, since after this happens, I can see Haku like sort of having this thing where he's just like, or he's just like, without my master, like I have no reason to live, like you can do whatever you want with me, like I really could not care less. And Naruto would say, well, if you don't have to obey your master Zabuza, well, why don't you come with us? With, you know, like Kakashi just thinking about it, being like, yeah, like maybe Haku would be a good addition to the village. Looking at Haku, saying that he knows how the shinobi world is, it's kill or be killed. He never wanted to kill Zabuza, but he had to. And telling him that, you know, like now that Zabuza's gone, he can live his own life. With Haku just being like, I don't know if I can, like Zabuza was my whole life. And Kakashi would tell him, well, he's gonna let him go. It's not like he's his enemy anymore. But if he ever wants to join the village, he always knows where he can find, you know, the Leaf Village. Haku would just like nod, and from here place his mask on as he like leaves, just literally leaves the area. And what would end up actually happening is that Haku, he's not having it, because now Zabuza isn't there to tell him like, oh, you know, like we can't do anything to Gato. Like Haku understands how Gato is, and like Haku didn't even like Gato in the first place. So what Haku would actually end up doing is actually making his way to where Gato's base is at and actually straight up killing Gato. Like, there's no ifs and or buts about it. Like, he pulls up on them and gets down to business, right? And because of this means that Tazun is able to completely build the bridge, like unbothered. And Naruto would even have a little bit more help, summoning one of his spirits, Cancer, who would help cut the wood and stuff like that. And he would also summon Taurus, who would help with the manual labor. So, you know, the bridge would end up finally being built. And because Naruto was such a big help, he would actually have the bridge named after him, just like he would in the original, which, you know, obviously is definitely a plus. And right after that happens, the team would finally end up making their way back to the village, where now Naruto, Kakashi, Sakura, and Sasuke are finally gonna be told about the Chunin exams, right? Once this would happen, Sasuke, Naruto would both just look at themselves. Well, no, when Kakashi would tell them about the Chunin exams, Naruto would instantly be like, well, I'm ready for anything, believe it. And Sasuke would look at Naruto and say, yeah, I agree with Naruto. As Sakura would be like a little bit like shy, being like, I don't know if I'm ready, but if Sasuke's going, then I have to. As she'd be like, yeah, sign me up. But inside, she's like totally terrified. And Naruto would just be thinking to himself like, all right, saying that he has a couple of summoning contracts to make, that he needs to get ready for this part. As from here, Naruto would make his way home, where Naruto would actually end up summoning Capricorn, who would literally end up draining 1/3 of Naruto's chakra reserves, right? And Naruto realizing like Capricorn is like not cheap when it comes to chakra, right? As he would just like look at Capricorn and end up making a deal with him, like a summoning contract, right? As Capricorn would end up actually not only serving as another summoning contract, but Capricorn would actually teach Naruto hand-to-hand combat, as Naruto would ask Capricorn what he actually offers as a celestial spirit, with Capricorn saying that he offers insane power, speed, durability, but he could also help train him in anything that he would wish to know. And Naruto's all like, oh, well, can you train me? Like, I need some training, you know what I mean? Like, I'm going to the Chunin exams, like talking, with Capricorn saying like, all right, first order of business, stay quiet. As he looks at Naruto and says, over the course of this next week, I'm gonna beat into you everything you need to know to be a successful a successful fighter, as Naruto would be like, what did I sign myself into? As like from here over the course of the next week, Naruto would then be taught how to fight. He would be taught like different taijutsu than what the Naruto world is accustomed to, being taught like the Capricorn fighting style, as Naruto over the course of this week would have gotten a lot stronger. Like now I dare to say Naruto could keep up with weightless Lee. Or no, that's a little doing too much. Naruto could keep up with Lee, the Lee who was actually fighting Sasuke in the Chunin exam. So like basically what we're about to cover. Naruto was able to keep up with that level of taijutsu. Definitely not weightless though. That's a little too crazy. So yeah, Naruto definitely got a lot stronger from this training. And what would happen is we basically end up making our way towards the Chunin Tower exam, stuff like that. And as Team 7 would be entering, they would end up running into Team Guy, who would eventually end up challenging Sasuke. And by they I mean Lee, and by Lee I mean he. As Lee would end up facing Sasuke just like in the original. I mean, nothing's going to change here. I really don't see any reason why anything at all would have to change in this specific part. So nothing happens here. And I mean, obviously in the original we have it so that Naruto actually wanted to face off against Lee himself, like wanting to prove his worth. And here Naruto, seeing how fast and strong Lee is, would be completely shocked. Like obviously not like, whoa, this guy's on a different level, because he's seen Capricorn fight and he's like, but Naruto still has enough respect to acknowledge Lee as a very, very worthy combatant. So right after this, we would end up basically having the portion of the story in which Naruto would find himself inside of the building where they all take the test. Here, I wish I could say Naruto would find some way to use his spirits to cheat or something, but he's just completely unable to. Summoning a celestial spirit is too flashy, and there's no way that Naruto would be able to do it without actually getting caught. So Naruto isn't able to do that, and instead, Naruto would just, through sheer willpower, just like he would in the original, and through like just knuckleheaded ninja stuff, would make his way towards the next section, which obviously we know to be the Forest of Death. Here, Naruto instantly turned towards the team. He would say, all right guys, I have a way that we can make our way through this as fast as possible. A leader that could actually lead us here since we don't have Kakashi. And Sasuke would say, no way, if you're about to say that you're gonna lead us, then I want no part of this, Naruto. As from here, Naruto would say, I'm not gonna lead us. He is. As he would say, summoning jutsu, Capricorn. And suddenly, Capricorn would come out, and in this moment, Capricorn would look at Naruto and ask him what he needs, as Naruto would say that he needs him to lead them to the Forest of Death like tower. It'd be in this moment that Sasuke would say, if you think that I'm gonna let one of your summonings lead us like a dog, you're out of your mind, Naruto. Looking at Sakura, he would say, come on, Sakura. And they would make their way towards a different direction. Naruto in this moment would turn towards Capricorn and say he's sorry, about that, about his friend, as he would turn towards Capricorn and say he still wants him to be with them in case any dangers come around. And Capricorn would say he understands, as they immediately begin running through the forest and looking for different looking for different scrolls, right? And here it would be that it just so happens that just like in the original, Naruto eventually has to go off and take a leak, right? So Capricorn would actually end up going with Naruto, just like literally standing like sort of close, as Naruto would be doing his business, and suddenly this gigantic snake would literally come flying at Naruto, about to eat him, mind you, had it not been for Capricorn, who literally comes in and punches that thing, like sending that thing flying through like 3 trees, as Naruto would turn towards Capricorn, like not having realized what happened until he heard like the slamming. He would thank Capricorn and say, wait, if he's here, then wait, if that's there, then what if they ran into some trouble? As they would immediately rush back towards the group, and suddenly Capricorn would see as Orochimaru was standing there, like completely freezing Sasuke and Sakura in fear. Capricorn would look at Naruto and say that whoever that is extremely dangerous to give off that much bloodlust. It's insane. He would rush in using his magical abilities and bam, send a thunderous blow to Orochimaru's stomach, as he would kick him with his knee and send him flying through a tree, as Orochimaru would get up saying, you dare attack me? And Capricorn would look at him, get into his fighting position and say, I do, rushing back in, as Orochimaru would instantly summon a couple of snakes that are gigantic as they rush in at Capricorn, but Capricorn punches one away, punches another one away, and would begin engaging in battle with Orochimaru, as like he's doing insanely well, mind you. Like Orochimaru is extremely powerful, and Capricorn is holding his own against this version of Orochimaru. who still has his arms, mind you. But eventually it would get to the point where Orochimaru stops holding back and he starts leaving Capricorn like to play on the defensive instead of the offensive, just like he was at the beginning. So now Naruto's looking at Capricorn and he's like, useless, I'm so useless. I can't believe I can't help him in this fight. As Naruto says, well, if I can't help him, then I just might have to summon another spirit. As Naruto would think to himself that he was told by Capricorn that that's dangerous, but right now he would think that it's more dangerous to leave Capricorn out there on his own. So Naruto would finally just be like, all right, I gotta do this. And suddenly Naruto would say, summoning jutsu, Ares, and suddenly Ares would come flying out. As you know, he's like, Ares, help Capricorn, and she lunges in the battlefield trying to help Capricorn as best as she can. Anytime that Orochimaru would shoot like snake-based jutsus, fire jutsus, like elemental jutsus, Ares would be there to help counter that, and Capricorn and Ares would both be there facing off against Orochimaru, as Sasuke would just be watching how powerful Naruto's summons are, and he would grab him by the collar as Naruto's like practically on one knee, because not only did he just summon Capricorn, but now he summoned Ares, and they're both active at the same time. Naruto's practically on the verge of unconsciousness, but Sasuke grabs him by the collar, asking him how in the world he's able to summon these guys, as Naruto would say that it's his ability, that they're just his summonings, everyone's summonings are different, and Sasuke would say that that's not how it works, summonings aren't supposed to work like that, and they're not supposed to be that strong, with Naruto looking towards Sasuke and saying that he doesn't know, but to let him go, as like Sasuke would do so, and Naruto would hold off just long enough for Orochimaru to retreat, as Naruto would finally like pass out completely, falling onto the ground, but not before Ares could create a layer of cushion for Naruto to fall into, as Sakura and Sasuke would end up grabbing Naruto and rushing him towards where he can like begin recouping his chakra. This would eventually lead us to Sasuke having to be there, the one that faces off against the sound ninjas, but because Sasuke's the only one there, like with Sakura, Sasuke would get absolutely demolished. Mind you, Lee in the original was able to get absolutely destroyed by the three of them, so Sasuke's gonna have absolutely no chance. And without the power of the curse mark given to him by Orochimaru, there's just nothing that he's able to do until Lee would actually end up arriving and helping Sasuke, because Sakura was also there fighting. This means that they would finally be able to handle the sound genin, and eventually the team would end up making their way towards the tower, where Naruto would finally recoup his chakra and would finally wake up, finding out everything that happened, and actually like giving Sasuke his props, telling him that he can't believe that he was able to take them out with the help of Lee. That was extremely impressive. As you know, like Sasuke's like, whatever, Naruto, and eventually the preliminary battles would start. Right here, Naruto now has to face off against Kiba, and Naruto would step up into the arena, as Kiba would say, Kimba, can you believe it, Akamaru? I can't believe we got to face off against the easiest one. We're gonna be moving on to the semifinals easily. As from here, Naruto would turn towards Kiba and say, you know, Kiba, I'm not too sure about that, but since you get to have a friend here to help you, I guess I should summon one of my own. As Kiba would say, what are you talking about, Naruto? And suddenly Naruto would say, summoning jutsu. Who should he summon? I'm thinking Cancer or Scorpio. Actually, I'm gonna go with Scorpio, as Scorpio would finally be summoned, and Kiba would be like, yo, that has to be illegal, but the exam proctor would say that it's not illegal. As from here, Naruto would turn towards towards the direction of Kiba with a huge smirk, as now Naruto would rush in towards Kiba, and Naruto would tell Scorpio to actually face off against Akamaru. So now Naruto rushes in and ends up getting into a hand-to-hand combat fight with Kiba, who, mind you, he's able to keep up with more than easily enough because of the fact that he got a lot stronger through training with Capricorn. And then while he's doing that, Akamaru was getting absolutely dismantled, sadly, by Scorpio, which was just absolute overkill. I mean, Cancer could have done it, right? But yeah, after that happens, Naruto would end up moving on to the next round, and everybody would finally discover Naruto's insane fighting abilities, and they're like, yo, like Naruto's able to summon things, with even Hiruzen being shocked, like, yo, like his summonings, like they're extremely powerful, like, and they seem to have a will of their own, just like Enma does. Like it's pretty impressive. So right after this would happen, like Naruto would just be like told that he's done a great, phenomenal job in this section, and right after this would go down, Naruto would would sort of find himself like on the in the watching section, as Hinata would come up to him and just be like, Naruto-kun, you know, and she would like hand over like this like ointment, be like, here, in case you got hurt in that battle, with Naruto looking at Hinata and being like, oh, thanks, Hinata. And Scorpio would be right next to him being like, she likes you, kid, you gotta take it. And Naruto, like, after hearing that, would be like, huh? Hinata likes me? And Hinata would go bright red and pass out, as Scorpio was just like, of course, look at that. She passed out at the looks of you, just looking at you. That's how Aquarius once was when she first met me. As from here, Naruto would have like this huge grin on his face. Though, no, I don't think that he would have a huge grin, but I think that he would be worried about Hinata being like, you have no idea what you're talking about. Hinata would never like me, as he picks her up and helps take her over to the infirmary, right? And right after this would go down, we would eventually get the rest of the battles go down, just like they would in the original, mind you, as eventually we jump cut into the 1 month of training. During the course of this 1 month of training, Naruto would finally end up meeting the rest of his celestial spirits, meaning not only now would Naruto have Aquarius, Capricorn, Scorpio, Cancer, Taurus, and Aries, but now Naruto would have actually ended up learning about Virgo, Sagittarius, Gemini, Pisces, and Libra. And those celestial spirits would be very potent, and adding those celestial spirits to his arsenal would be absolutely busted. Like, that's what Naruto would do over the course of the 1 month. And not only that, but he would also obviously meet Jiraiya and stuff like that, and get Jiraiya to train him. And, you know, just like I said in the original, Jiraiya would completely like fangirl over people like Virgo and Aries, who just like, you know how Jiraiya is like that. That's just how Jiraiya carries himself. So yeah, that would happen. And eventually, after the end of the 1 month arc would end, and Naruto would still actually end up training with Leo, who would have actually ended up teaching Naruto some more cool abilities that he would actually end up learning himself. And Leo would now have access to all, or not Leo, but Naruto would now have access to all his celestial spirits, gaining a huge power up. And even his spirits would gain power ups. Like, all of them would go up in power by 10%. Because Naruto's getting stronger as well, right? So right after this would happen, Naruto would find himself in the ring against Neji Hyuga, just like you would in the original, right? Now, here's where things are a little interesting, because it's like Neji is one of those fighters that like he's extremely potent up front. And I'm not gonna lie, if I sent somebody like Taurus over there, like while Taurus is like extremely powerful, I think Neji could actually hold his own against somebody like Taurus. Somebody like Scorpio, he could just use the palm rotation. But against somebody like Virgo, who's actually able to attack from underneath and able to do things like that, I think that Virgo would actually be able to give Neji a bit of trouble. So that's exactly how I'm going to start the battle off. Naruto, turning towards Neji, would say that if he ask him if he's ready, as you know, Neji is like, I've always been ready. With Naruto immediately starting off the battle on his own power, like summoning a couple of, not summoning, but he would actually use the multi-shadow clone jutsu, as you know, a bunch of his summonings rush in towards the direction of Neji, and Naruto was like, what's the big idea? Like, how are you able to take them all out so fast? As eventually Naruto would say, well, if your whole thing is protecting omnidirectional, let's see how perfect that defense is. As Naruto at this moment would say, summoning jutsu, Aries. And Aries would appear, as she would say, would you like to punish me? And Naruto would say, hey, stop being weird. As you know, he basically ends up telling Virgo to attack Neji from underneath, and Virgo would be like, okay, master. As from here, like, she would rush in, as Naruto's clones would also rush in from the top. And while Neji was so busy using the rotation jutsu, Virgo would actually grab Neji by the legs and drag him into the earth, where Neji would like literally just be unable to move. And following this, Naruto would say, perfect, thank you, Virgo. As like Virgo would be unsummoned, and Naruto suddenly goes, summoning jutsu, Cancer. And Cancer would appear, as Naruto says, shave him bald. As like he laughs maniacally, and Cancer goes, all right, baby. As he rushes in, and he would just completely leave Neji completely bald, as Neji would literally just be there on the ground, and the proctor would be like, Neji Hyuga's unable to go on. Naruto is the winner. As Naruto would laugh and be like, yeah. And it'd be in this moment that Naruto would move on to the next battle, as following this, Sasuke would face off against Gaara, right? Now, all that goes down just like in the original. Gaara uses impenetrable defense, Sasuke uses the Chidori, Gaara goes off like a little scaredy cat, and Naruto would still go over there in hopes of helping him, right? So because that would end up actually going down, we eventually get the section of the story where Naruto would find himself chasing after Sasuke, but at every point somebody was there to stop him, whether it be Kankuro or Temari. The first one would actually be Kankuro, who would be there telling Naruto that he's not getting past him. Gaara and Sasuke are gonna finish things off on their own. But Naruto would say he doesn't think so. And just as he was about to actually summon a celestial spirit, like it was actually going to be a good fight considering Kankuro uses puppets, Naruto uses celestial spirits, which, they're not puppets, he doesn't control them, but he does at the same time, which, it would make for a cool battle, but just, if he fights him, he's going to be too late to save Sasuke. So unfortunately that doesn't happen. And Shino would actually end up arriving saying that he believes he owes him a fight, as they would end up duking it out, and eventually Naruto would run into Temari, who would actually get in his way, but Shikamaru would end up intervening, and he would end up being the one who faces off against Temari, saying he's not very fond of fighting girls, but if he has to, he will. As from here, they fight, and Naruto would just basically be like, I'm not gonna make it, as Naruto would sort of just get to this point where he's like, what do I do? And it'd be in this moment that Naruto goes, well, if I can't get there fast enough, then I know somebody who can. As Naruto goes, summoning jutsu, Capricorn. As Capricorn would arrive, and Naruto would say, I need you to help Sasuke. As Capricorn shoots off with so much speed that Naruto would be stunned, and suddenly Capricorn would come in right at the last second, as Sasuke was about to get attacked by one of Gaara's massive arm strikes, and Sasuke was there shooting a Chidori at him. Capricorn would lunge in the way and actually kick Gaara away, leading Gaara to be sent flying through 2 trees, as Capricorn would say, as Capricorn would be there and would be like, all right, perfect. Suddenly Naruto would say, all right, Capricorn, take him out. And Capricorn would get into a full-fledged battle with Gaara, as Gaara would get angry because Capricorn was just too fast for Gaara to keep up with. And Gaara eventually would get to a point where he transforms into his gigantic state, which would eventually lead Naruto to being like, how are we gonna handle this? And Naruto would say, all right, I got it. As from here, Naruto would say, this is the only way. And suddenly, Naruto would summon Gemini, as Gemini would actually end up appearing, and Naruto would say, Gemini, transform into that thing. And Gemini would nod, as they would transform into it. And suddenly Naruto would be on top of a different Shukaku with Capricorn there as well, as Naruto in this moment would go on and say, Capricorn, take him out. And Capricorn lunges from the top of Shukaku's head, as he would throw a punch straight at Gaara's head, knocking him conscious, as Gaara would fall down to the ground. And Naruto in that moment would watch as Gaara was about to fall and actually hit himself, until he would actually end up telling Capricorn to catch him. And Capricorn would do so, landing on the ground, as Naruto goes over to him, talk no jutsus him just like in the original, telling him that the reason that he lost is because he doesn't have any friends, straight up power of friendship talk, you know what I mean? As Gaara would be like, maybe he's right. And suddenly, we would then jump into a 1-week time skip, in which during this time we would have the events such as the cleanup of the village because of what happened, and also the 1 week, the funeral of Hiruzen. Right after this, we would get into the different area, which is basically just Jiraiya arriving in front of Naruto's house and just being like, Naruto, how would you like to go find the next Hokage with me? With Naruto being like, all right, you bet I'm gonna go with you. You know what I mean? As he goes along with the journey, and Naruto would find himself now in front of what's it called? In front of a hotel room, right? In front of a hotel room. As on the course of this journey, Naruto would still obviously be taught the Rasengan, but on top of being taught the Rasengan, Naruto would have been working on getting stronger by himself, right? And so Naruto would find himself in this hotel room, as Jiraiya would leave him in there and just be like, all right, Naruto, well, I'll be back in a bit. I gotta go do some research. Naruto would be like, you perverted old man. As Jiraiya would leave, and Naruto would continue working on the Rasengan, trying his best to actually figure it out, until eventually Naruto would hear a knock on the door. Suddenly, Naruto would see Naruto would see Itachi and Kisame standing there, and Naruto would jump back, being like, you're Itachi's brother. And Itachi would say, you're coming with us, Naruto. As Naruto would say, heck if I am, slamming his hand on the ground as he would go, summoning jutsu, Leo, understanding that these guys are no joke. As suddenly Leo would appear, and would say, "What can I do you for, Naruto?" As Naruto would just look at him and say, "Leo, I need you to take him out." And Leo in this moment would turn towards the direction of them and say, "Sure thing." As like light energy would begin coming off of his fists, and he would rush in towards the direction of Kisame, as he would punch Kisame, and Kisame would slash at him, as they would like both be equally in equal in terms of power. And Loki would be like, "Can't believe you're this strong." As suddenly they would like finally break, and Naruto would turn towards Leo and say, "Take that freak out." And Leo would say, "You don't have to tell me twice," rushing back in and attacking and attacking and attacking, until eventually Itachi would say he's tired of Kisame playing around, and he would stare it directly into the eyes of Leo, who, mind you, had no idea that this was even a capability that Itachi had, as Loki would be placed under a genjutsu, and Loki would just stand still, as Itachi would just like use a genjutsu to make Loki completely turn against Naruto. It'd be in this moment that Naruto, seeing this happen, would be like, "There's no way, Loki." And suddenly Naruto would say like, "I can't, how'd you let this happen?" As Loki would lunge at Naruto and throw a punch at Naruto, which actually almost connects by like literally it's by a hair that Naruto dodged. As Naruto would say, "Loki, snap out of it." And he would have like this whole like moment where Naruto's like trying to talk some sense into Loki, as Loki's like trying his absolute best to like hold back and not like destroy Naruto, right? Naruto would be doing his best to hold off, sending shadow clones at him, until eventually like Itachi would basically order Loki to finish him off. And as Loki was going in to land a finishing blow on Naruto, which Naruto, mind you, just wasn't going to be able to like avoid, which would have completely not killed them, but knocked them out like cold, right? Jiraiya would actually arrive right in the center of that, as he would catch the blow of Loki with his hand, and he would then end up basically throwing Loki back, as he would then use his hair whip attack to actually hit Loki, sending him crashing outside of the wall, which would like knock Loki out, but knock some sense into Loki, as Loki would close his gate, just being like, "Sorry, Naruto, but I can't help you here." As Naruto would watch as Jiraiya would stand toe to toe against Itachi and Kisame. And mind you, Loki would have done a phenomenal job against Itachi and Kisame. It's just unfortunate because Loki was caught under a genjutsu, something that he was completely unprepared for and something that he's just never seen before, right? So because of that, what would pretty much end up going down is now Jiraiya would obviously cause Itachi and Kisame to retreat, but not before Sasuke would come in and do his whole "Itachi" situation that happens in the original. So Sasuke still would actually get absolutely dismantled by Itachi, and right after this, Naruto and Jiraiya would continue on their search for looking for Grand Lady Tsunade, as it'd be in this moment that Naruto would turn towards Jiraiya and say, "When are they gonna find this old bag? He's tired of this. Plus, he needs to figure out some way for celestial spirits to be able to counter genjutsu." And it'd be in this moment that Jiraiya would tell Naruto that the only way to counter genjutsu is to gain some sort of tolerance to it, or learn how to break out of it, to which Naruto would ask Jiraiya if he can help him out with that. And so over the course of the next couple of days while they're searching for Tsunade, Naruto would summon his spirits individually and would basically have Jiraiya help them with genjutsu and understanding like different things of the shinobi world, telling them that this world is much different than the one that they're accustomed to from what they're explaining, and that they need to understand how to fight without looking into someone's eyes, specifically Uchiha clan members, as each one of the celestial spirits would find out their own way of like countering genjutsu. And yeah, that's basically just what ended up going down, as now we would eventually find ourselves at a bar where Naruto and Jiraiya would finally meet Tsunade. "Long time no see, Tsunade." "Jiraiya, what do you want? What are you doing here?" "Well, I just came to talk to an old friend." "Cut it, Jiraiya, I know why you're really here. You came to ask me for something, so spill it," Tsunade would say as she slams her hand on the table, and Jiraiya looks at her with a smile and says, "How about this? How about we have a drink and then maybe play some cards?" And Jiraiya and Tsunade go on to play a couple of games, as Naruto's sitting there impatiently, wondering when Jiraiya is finally going to ask the question. I mean, all they need to do is find out if she's going to become Hokage or not, right? That's why they're here, Naruto would think. Suddenly, eventually Jiraiya would pop the question, and Tsunade would laugh in his face, as she would then begin to make fun of the Hokage role and say that she would never become a Hokage, say that she's not going to waste her life running some cruddy village. as Jiraiya would look at her and would be about to say something, but suddenly Naruto would cut in and say, yeah, because you're going to waste your life in a cruddy bar. Some dream that is. As Tsunade from here would hear that, and she would slam her from here would hear that. as from here Tsunade would listen to that. No, that doesn't even sound natural. No, from here Tsunade would slam her fist on the ground and say, "What'd you say, brat?" As she grabs Naruto by the collar, and Naruto says, "You heard me. You're gonna waste your life at a cruddy bar." Tsunade's like aura of like her trying to like hurt Naruto would suddenly cause one of his celestial spirits to actually open the gate by himself. And this certain celestial spirit would actually be Taurus, who would open the gate and would straight up slam his axe on Tsunade, who would catch it with one hand and like take a drink and throw Taurus across the bar, saying, "So you used the summoning jutsu and tried to kill me, eh? Well, that's not one way to get me to become Hokage." As Naruto says, "Taurus, why did you open the gate on your own?" And Taurus would go, "I was forced to." Bro, it's literally like 3 days later since I recorded the first hour, and I'm back at it. Like, I just, bro, like honestly, I was gonna summon what's it called, Capricorn, and like do that, but I just couldn't miss the opportunity to go moo. So yeah, so Taurus ends up basically just asking if Naruto's in danger. And Naruto's like, "Look, Taurus, thank you for coming up, but it might have caused me a little more trouble than it did good." As Taurus would be like, "I'm sorry about that. I will be going." Nah, that one just didn't fit. That was an unearned moo. So my bad, y'all. But anyways, yeah, Taurus would literally just leave, and then Naruto would say, "Sorry about that. My celestial spirits like to act on their own sometimes." And so Tsunade would say, "So your summonings can summon themselves?" Naruto would say something like that, as he would then go on to say that he's sorry about that, but if she's not going to join the village and she wants to stay here and waste her life away, she could be his guest. But one thing she's not going to do is badmouth the Hokage, people who are willing to put their lives on the line for the village. Unlike her, she's unwilling to do that. And suddenly Tsunade would say, "What would you know about that, kid?" As Naruto say, "You know, I wouldn't know much, but you wouldn't either." As from here, he would tell her this: "How about a little bet? If me and you fight and I win, you'll come back to the village for us. If you win, we'll leave you alone. Heck, I'll even give you everything I have in my wallet." And from here, Tsunade would smile as she would have this mischievous grin on her face and say, "Kid, you couldn't even touch me you couldn't even land one hit on me." As Naruto says, "Is that so? Then how about this? If I can land just one hit on you, you have to come back to the Leaf Village." As Tsunade would say, "Sure thing, kid, but it's your funeral." From here, they make their way outside, and actually, before I continue with this video, you guys have been asking me for longer what ifs for such a long time. I'm finally making it for you guys. Do your boy a favor, hit the like button. If you've made it 1 hour into this video and you're still listening to this and you still yet to hit the like button, then that's just messed up. Like, you're watching 1 hour of free content. The least you could do is leave a like. And if you don't leave a like, unfortunately, the next time you bite into a chocolate chip cookie, there's gonna be a raisin in there, and I don't make the rules, I just follow them. So yeah, like if you want that to happen to you, then don't like the video. But hey, you know, I'm just letting you know. But no, seriously, getting back to the video, Naruto and Tsunade would start, right? Naruto and Tsunade would start fighting each other, right? Over here, like begging for likes, being sellouts. Xehther's over here doing me dirty. But yeah, no. Naruto and Tsunade would get into fighting positions, right? And Tsunade would immediately just be like, "There's no way this kid could beat me." As Naruto would turn towards oh dude, why am I literally losing track? Like, I have this really cool fight scene idea in my head, but for some reason I can't bring it to words. Like, I can't say it for some reason. Okay, let me slow it down. Naruto and Tsunade are looking at each other, right? Tsunade's obviously, she's gonna say something cocky along the lines of that it's his funeral, that he has no chance, and that she's only gonna use this finger, honestly making the bet even worse for her. Suddenly Naruto would say, "Is that so?" As he would say, "Open, gate of the maiden, Virgo," right? As it would be at this moment that Virgo would appear right next to him, and Naruto would say, "How about we hit her with a surprise attack?" As Virgo would say, "Interesting," and Naruto in this moment would go on to create a bunch of shadow clones. 50 to be exact. as 20 of them would end up turning into Virgo using the transformation jutsu, and the rest of them would all rush towards the direction of Tsunade. One in particular that would be in the back would be the real Virgo, which would actually be in the back, and she would drill a hole in the ground since Tsunade obviously wasn't expecting it, and Virgo doesn't have chakra. Tsunade is like completely unaware of the fact that a person could actually use this jutsu, right? And as Tsunade's busy facing off against the 20 Virgos and the 30 Narutos, she's like literally dismantling them, punching the ground, creating these gigantic like shockwave explosion things that are just destroying them. Virgo would be coming from underneath, and suddenly she would shoot up as she would hit Tsunade right on the chin and send Tsunade flying back. It would be in this moment that Tsunade would get back up and say that that's impossible, as Naruto would say, "Is it now?" With Tsunade saying that he didn't win, he wasn't the one that landed the blow, until suddenly Naruto and actually wait, no, because technically Naruto did land the blow, so I don't even think that she would be able to say that. But even if she did, Naruto would probably look at her and be like, "You're just a sore loser. You didn't say how I have to land the hit. I landed a hit. It's my summoning. I win." And Tsunade's like, "Fine, kid. Here's a dumb necklace. I didn't want it anyways." As it'd be in this moment that Naruto and Tsunade would both sort of look at each other. Tsunade acts like she doesn't like Naruto, but she's actually pretty impressed. And the following day, Tsunade and Jiraiya would plan an ambush to actually take Orochimaru out. Unlike in the original where Tsunade doesn't tell them, this time around she does, because Naruto does end up winning the bet, so she's sort of forced to do it. And the very next day, they would get into a confrontation with Orochimaru and Kabuto. This time around, the battle would go a whole lot different than it does in the original, just because here's what I actually want to have happen. See, for this specific fight, I want something funny to happen where Naruto would be watching as Kabuto and Tsunade would fight, right? Because those events still happen just like they do in the original. But Naruto, when he sees this and he sees the way Kabuto fights, Naruto would actually end up summoning Cancer, who uses like scissors, as Kabuto's using scalpels, Cancer's using like scissors, and Cancer's like a lot stronger, right? And Naruto looks at Tsunade and says, "Hey, here's some help," as Cancer would come flying and be like, "Baby," and he would come rushing in at Kabuto, as he would completely make him bald instantly, causing Kabuto to be enraged, and he would begin facing off against Cancer. While that's happening, Naruto would turn towards Tsunade and say they have to go help Jiraiya, that guy over there, he's no joke. As Naruto simultaneously in this moment would say he hopes he could do this now, he hopes he can do this better now, as he would slam his hand on the ground and summon Capricorn. It'd be in this moment that Capricorn would appear once more, and they would all be on top of Jiraiya's Toad summoning, as Tsunade would be on the other side with her slug, and Capricorn would say, Nice to see your acquaintance again, Orochimaru," with Orochimaru gritting his teeth and being all like, "You again. This time you don't have your little friend to back you up." As Orochimaru now is in a pitiful state. Like, he doesn't even have his arms, and the last time he faced off against Capricorn, things didn't exactly go too well. This time now he has to face off against Orochimaru, Tsunade, Naruto, and Capricorn. Bro, this is just not it for Orochimaru. Orochimaru instantly retreats with his tail between his legs, and he would leave them alone, as Naruto, Tsunade, Jiraiya would all end up making their way back to the village. Once Tsunade would arrive, I can definitely see her healing all the people that got sick, including Kakashi and Sasuke. And once Sasuke would wake up, just like in the original, he still would end up challenging Naruto, asking him to a fight, where he would basically end up telling Naruto that he needs to fight him, that that he doesn't understand what's so special about him. As it'd be in this moment that Naruto would say that there is nothing special about him. He's just like his comrade. He doesn't get why he's trying to fight him so bad. And Sasuke says the only thing special about him is his little dumb summoning spell. As Naruto would say that that's like him saying that the only thing special about him is the Sharingan. In this moment, Sasuke would smirk and say, "That's not true, Naruto." As from here, Naruto would say, "It is true and you know it." As suddenly, Sasuke would look at Naruto, grab him by the collar and say, "You wanna bet? I can beat you right now without the Sharingan." As Naruto looks at him with a grin and says, "Oh yeah? Well, I'd like to see you try." So Nani would get in the way of that, and she'd be like, "Hey guys, why do we need to fight?" But suddenly Naruto would say, "You've been bratty this whole time. How about I settle this right here, right now?" And Sasuke looks at him and goes, "Great, let's do it then." Suddenly, Sasuke and Naruto body flicker to the rooftop, and it'd be in this moment that they both look at each other as the wind would end up breezing by, and Sasuke and Naruto look at each other as they're both thinking about like their memories together, but Sasuke has one thing on his mind: take Naruto out and regain his position as the strongest in Team 7, or second behind Kakashi, right? As it'd be in this moment that they both engage in hand-to-hand combat instantly, and Naruto would actually stun Sasuke. Because not only does Naruto have Capricorn's fighting style, he actually also has Leo's fighting style, and he's learned a lot from his celestial spirits. Don't think that Naruto literally just has all these spirits and he doesn't use them to train. Plus, Naruto has access to the Rasengan, which is completely not even like celestial spirit based. Sasuke has the Chidori, but he can't exactly use it without the Sharingan, or at least if he does, it's not going to be that good, right? So Naruto and Sasuke are facing off against each other, and unfortunately for Sasuke, I think that Naruto has just enough of an edge on Sasuke to the point where even though it would be a nice, cool cinematic battle, Naruto still ends up winning. I mean, I just can't see Sasuke winning this battle realistically. So Sasuke would end up on the ground as Naruto would point a kunai to him and tell him that he won, Sasuke. It's over. Sasuke in this moment would grit his teeth as he pushes Naruto off and just leaves. Suddenly, Kakashi, who was watching, would just sigh as he's like, I'll talk to him. And Naruto and Sakura would just sit there as Sakura would tell Naruto that that wasn't cool. He didn't have to fight Sasuke. He didn't have to hurt his pride like that. And Naruto says, what? Did you not see what he said to me? What did I do to him? He was the one who started it. As Sakura would say, she doesn't care and just walks off. In that moment, Naruto would just be like, she's so annoying. Her and her crush for Sasuke is going to get us killed one day. As in this foreshadowing, I'm just kidding, no, not foreshadowing, but yeah, Sasuke goes on to be talked to by Kakashi. He's all like, I've known guys like you, revenge is the worst path, yada yada yada. And it does resonate with Sasuke. Like, we see it in the original that even then it actually struck a nerve. Like, Sasuke really was thinking about it. But ultimately, when the Sound 4 ninjas would end up arriving, Sasuke still ends up joining them, unfortunately. Why? Well, number one, this time around, he doesn't have the power of the curse mark, and he's seeing firsthand the power of the curse mark on other individuals, people who are easily outclassing him. And he's realizing one thing: if he can gain access to this power that they have, he'll be so much stronger. And maybe the next time he ends up facing off against Itachi, he could actually win. Sasuke would let his hatred blind him completely, and so he would make his way with the Sound 4, knocking Sakura out just like in the original, as unfortunately for not Team 7, but for the Leaf Village, the team to actually recover Sasuke would still be formed. Meaning we get iconic fights such as Choji versus that fat guy, I forgot his name, Neji versus the spider guy, Kiba versus the guy with the weird head, Shikamaru versus the girl with the flute, and things such as that, right? Obviously the Sand Squad ends up arriving and like helping out with stuff like that, but for now, this is all we got, right? So Naruto and the group would continue their pursuit for Sasuke, and in the midst of all those battles, all those things would end up just like they do in the original. The only real changes occur when Naruto actually runs into Kimimaro. And Kimimaro would be an interesting battle because Kimimaro fights with bones, right? He's a close range fighter. Naruto has been taught some close range fighting techniques, but ultimately that's probably not going to be his best bet. So here's what Naruto does. Naruto would actually end up summoning Ares, which is kind of interesting considering that, Kimimaro has a bone Kekkei Genkai, right? Ares has an ability that is going to be very good for dealing with him because she's going to be able to keep Kimimaro at bay, and if he does get close, she's going to be able to form a barrier between Kimimaro and Naruto, where Kimimaro's bones won't be able to shoot at Naruto, and his close range attacks won't be able to actually land on him. Number 2, Naruto's actually going to be summoning Sagittarius, who would instantly arrive and like salute at absolutely nothing, being like, what can I do for you today, sir? As Naruto looks at him and tells, drop the formalities, we need to fight that guy right there. And Sagittarius looks at Naruto and goes, all right, sir, I'll get on that right now. As he would go on to aim his bow, and suddenly Kimimaro would shoot a bunch of bones at him, and Sagittarius would shoot 5 arrows, which would hit them mid-air, and he would say he's extremely skilled. Suddenly, Ares would end up shooting barriers of like wool or whatever it is that she shoots, right? As both of them would end up holding Kimimaro back, with Naruto saying, keep him there for me, I'll be back, or beat him and as soon as you guys beat him, close your gates. Yeah, that's more accurate. As soon as you guys beat him, close your gates. As he completely runs off and would like feel tired, like mind you, like Naruto isn't in a position where he can just summon like Aries inside. Like obviously right now, like 50% of his chakra was just wasted on doing that, and that's like his normal chakra. Or let's go with 40. Let's go with 40. You know, like we don't want to go that crazy, but he definitely is tired, right? As Naruto in this moment would just make his way towards Sasuke and eventually catch up to him. Just like in the original, however, when he catches up to Sasuke, Sasuke would just look at him and start laughing like a maniacal crazy person. As Sasuke would be like, Naruto, Naruto. Cringe aside, Sasuke basically ends up telling Naruto that, you know, he wants power. He would end up screaming, Naruto! Naruto would scream, Sasuke! And we would get an iconic battle, right? Unfortunately for Sasuke, however, this battle would not be very long lasting. Number one, because Naruto eventually would be able to unsummon Aries and Sagittarius once Lee would arrive to the battlefield. Once Gaara arrives to the battlefield, it gets even worse. And because Naruto already did summon Aries and Sagittarius, you know, that still took the chakra out of him, but he's able to regain a little bit of it considering he closed their gates. Once this would end up happening, Naruto would end up finding himself in a hand-to-hand combat battle against Sasuke, where now Sasuke's completely outdoing Naruto, and he hasn't even activated his Sharingan. The same battle that we got on the rooftop would almost repeat itself, but it would be completely one-sided in Sasuke's favor, with Naruto getting angrier and angrier, pushing himself further and further, until eventually, just like we would expect Naruto to do, he would find himself on the winning end. As Sasuke would say, "You're no match for me anymore, Naruto. I don't know if you've noticed, but I haven't even used my Sharingan yet." As Naruto looks at Sasuke's eyes, realizing this, his eyes would open wide, as Sasuke's eyes would instantly transform into that of the Sharingan, and he would instantly kick Naruto in the stomach, sending him flying back, with Naruto holding himself by the belly and just be like, ah, as Sasuke looks at him and tells him to give it up. He's gonna leave whether he wants him to or not, but Naruto would tell him that he's gonna bring him back whether he has to break every bone in his body or not. As suddenly, Naruto would say, I summon you, Scorpio. And Scorpio in this moment would shoot a bunch of sand attacks at the direction of Sasuke, which he would end up dodging and ultimately getting closer and closer to Naruto, with Scorpio finally being able to land an attack on Sasuke, rushing in and using his tail to actually try to face off against Sasuke. But Sasuke, using his taijutsu and morphing his Sharingan to the second Tomoe and third Tomoe in each eye respectfully, he would be able to land blows on Sagittarius and ultimately like take him out, with Scorpion having to actually close his gate. Naruto after this would have regained his breath more than enough, and suddenly he would grab onto Sasuke, as he would grab Sasuke and basically throw the both of them down into the water. Sasuke, unfortunately for Naruto, would grab Naruto and reverse the hold, where now Sasuke is the one who's holding onto Naruto, and now they're plummeting down hundreds of feet into water. Naruto would slam into the water first, as it greatly hurts him, but Naruto then would begin to land on the walk on the water as he gets back up, and Sasuke would get back up as well. And Naruto would say, "You know, Sasuke, you've gotten so strong, but there's one thing you forgot about. I have this." As he instantly just slams his hand on the water and goes, "Summoning Jutsu, Aquarius!" And Aquarius would arrive, as Naruto would say, "Shoot a water attack at Sasuke." Sasuke would brace himself, as this gigantic tsunami-like wave would shoot at him and would send him flying into the wall. Suddenly, Naruto would then tell Aquarius to shoot at him a bunch of concentrated water beams. As Aquarius would do so and then say that she has to go. Scorpio needs her to tend to him. Naruto would say, "Please do," as he would thank Aquarius, and Aquarius would give him a smile saying, "You know, kid, I'm warming up to you," with Naruto saying he's glad. Suddenly, Sasuke would find himself engraved in the wall. His body is literally in the wall, like grabbing a nail and hammering it in. That's what Sasuke's body is like. He has a full indent of the shape of his frame in there, and now Sasuke is just sitting there low-key looking unconscious, as Sasuke just mumbles, I can't lose. And suddenly, the power of the curse mark would begin opening, as Sasuke would rush in at Naruto, and Naruto would have no answer for it. Sasuke would land a blow on Naruto so powerful, it would actually send him flying across the water. similar to when Naruto taps into not KCM, but the power of Kurama and punches Sasuke across the water. That's sort of similar to what we end up getting right here. And once Naruto would like lift his head up, Sasuke would grab him by the hair as he straight kicks him back and sends him flying once again. And Naruto would just sit there as he gets up and quickly has to just instantly summon Taurus. Actually, he can't, because they're on water and his celestial spirits can't exactly walk on water, you know what I mean? So it'd be in this moment that Naruto would low-key find himself in a terrible situation, and Sasuke would begin continuously beating on Naruto. Mind you, this is curse mark Sasuke, so he's beginning to be a little more unhinged, and Sasuke's landing blow after blow after blow after blow after blow on Naruto, and it's just not helping like Naruto whatsoever. He's thoroughly getting dismantled in this moment. Eventually it would get to the point where Sasuke would pierce Naruto with the Chidori, and Naruto would barely be able to avoid his vital areas, as Naruto in this moment would open his eyes once more, and his teeth would be animalistic, his claws would be animalistic, his hair is different than mine, his face is different than mine, his skin is different than mine. I don't know if y'all get that joke, but what's it called? Naruto's features would just basically change, right? And it would get to the point where Naruto now would just be in full-fledged like Kurama mode, right? As Naruto just looks at Sasuke and says that he made a huge mistake. Suddenly he would rush at Sasuke and he begins landing blow after blow after blow, saying he doesn't need his celestial spirits, but Sasuke needs this curse mark. He needs the Sharingan. Naruto, he doesn't need anything. Landing blow after blow after blow after blow on Sasuke, beating him down thoroughly, with Sasuke not even having the opportunity to even whip out the Rasengan. This new improved version of Naruto's taijutsu would completely be dismantling Sasuke. And I forgot to mention, Naruto isn't in the one-tailed state. Naruto's in a two-tailed state, which is why he's thoroughly dismantling Sasuke, because this version of Naruto's body could actually handle two tails, not just one. But that means that Naruto's even more unhinged and doing more damage than he would like to do. This would ultimately lead to Sasuke's bones genuinely being broken, badly. And Naruto would finally stop as he sees Sasuke practically barely recognizable. He would finally end up telling him that it's over, he won, and Sasuke would be knocked out cold. Suddenly Kakashi would end up arriving on the scene, and in the rain he would see that Naruto just finished destroying Sasuke, as he would look at Naruto and tell him that he didn't need to take it that far, and Naruto says, maybe I didn't take it far enough, with Kakashi looking at him and telling him that he'll deal with him later, but for now, they need to rush Sasuke to Lady Tsunade. They would end up bringing Sasuke back to the village, and this would be one of the major changes to the Naruto story. With Sasuke remaining in the village, this means a couple of things for the story. Number one, Sasuke never trains with Orochimaru. Number two, Sasuke doesn't actually go completely unhinged and have that crazy outburst that we do in Shippuden. And number three, Sasuke, instead of being trained by Orochimaru like he was in the original, would actually be trained by Kakashi. And honestly, you could say, oh, he's not going to be as strong, but I beg to differ. I think that Kakashi is a decent amount of a good enough of a sensei to actually train Sasuke to get him to the same level that we get in canon, if not more. And Naruto would still unfortunately end up going off with Jiraiya to train. Obviously, he still gets very powerful, and luckily for Naruto, he's not only training with Jiraiya, but he's also training with his celestial spirits. This means that while yes, Naruto still gets the upgrades that he gets in the original, Naruto would be hecka more talented in taijutsu, because now Naruto has access to Leo's insane hand-to-hand capabilities plus Capricorns. Naruto's also going to be very skilled with weaponry, just due to the fact that he has Cancer to train him in using scalpel-like tools, the likes that he uses. Taurus is able to train him in using big handheld weapons, which is a warhammer that Naruto actually is going to be gaining access to by an ability that he would have learned during the 3 years of training. He's gonna be able to equip his celestial spirits outfits, not like Lucy, but boy version of those outfits, and basically with those certain outfits equipped, Naruto's not only going to be gaining increase of power, a boost, but Naruto's also going to be gaining the spirit's abilities, which is just going to be absolutely busted, which is actually going to be making up for the huge lack of training that Jiraiya actually gives Naruto. But not only that, but Jiraiya is actually also going to be learning a couple of things things from the celestial spirits, mainly a little bit of taijutsu and a lot of bit of research, which Jiraiya would have to beg Naruto to get, but that's besides the fact. Eventually, they would end up returning back to the village, and once they would return, Sasuke and Sakura would be waiting for him as, Naruto runs into Sakura and Sasuke, who were not only just together, but they would be like walking very close to each other, right? And because Sakura and Sasuke were alone in this timeline, they actually had time to flourish their relationship without Naruto in the middle. With the fact that they had to go on countless missions together, I think that Sasuke and Sakura would definitely become a thing a lot earlier than in canon, and Sasuke would actually catch feelings for Sakura just like he would in the end of Naruto, unfortunately. But one thing that I do want to take note of here is that because Sasuke would be in the village, not only would he be able to learn from Kakashi, but he would actually be able to learn a couple of things from Tsunade. Definitely nothing crazy like the 100 ceilings jutsu, because that's just like, obviously we could probably have given that to Sasuke and say like, instead of Sakura training with Tsunade, Sasuke did, but like we gotta have Sakura have her thing, like she has to be the medic. But Sasuke learned a couple of like basic like healing jutsus, I guess you could say, right? Of say Naruto's really hurt and like he needs healing, like that same like thing that Sakura does where she places her hand on him and like it starts glowing. That's what Naruto learned. Nothing too crazy, nothing too advanced, but yeah, I definitely figured I had to mention that. Once Naruto would arrive, Team 7 would, or not Team 7 actually, but Naruto would basically just be assessed as, Sasuke and Naruto would both look at each other and they would like question like who got stronger. With Sasuke saying the last time they met, it was a one-sided battle, but this time, Sasuke would say he has an ace up his sleeve that if he used on Naruto, he'd probably leave nothing left behind. And Naruto would look at Sasuke and say, really? Because last I remember, I barely left you alive last time. As Sasuke would like grit his teeth and like just before like laughing a little bit and just saying, whatever, Naruto, I needed that anyways. As Naruto would look at him, smile and say, yeah, but I don't mind going again, Sasuke. As Sasuke would look at Naruto and say, name the place and the time. And Naruto would say, right now. As Sasuke and Naruto would make their way towards training grounds, and Tsunade, Jiraiya, Kakashi, Sakura, like Konohamaru even would be there. And they would just watch as Naruto and Sasuke go at it, right? The battle would start slowly with Sasuke not activating his Sharingan and Naruto and Sasuke just getting a feel for each other in terms of taijutsu. Naruto and Sasuke would actually be decently evenly matched, with Naruto and Sasuke like straight up dang near being equals. Because if we remember, like Sasuke's taijutsu is pretty busted, but Naruto has the advantage in strength, while Sasuke has the advantage in speed. So they're like basically keeping up with each other and countering each other about as good as you can probably expect these two characters to do. Eventually we would get to a point where Sasuke says, how about we take it up a notch? To give show me your power, Naruto. He would activate his curse mark, and suddenly Naruto would say, you sure about that, Sasuke? I don't know if you're ready for that. With Sasuke saying, of course I am, you dope. Naruto saying, alright, we'll see if you can keep up. Suddenly Naruto's clothes would change as Leo would be summoned, and Naruto would say, let me borrow your powers real quick, Leo. I really don't need your help, but I'll tag you in if I do. With Leo saying, sure thing, Naruto. Suddenly, Naruto's fist would begin glowing just like Leo's does, and Naruto would say, you ready, Sasuke? With Sasuke looking at Naruto and seeing that there's literally no chakra coming off of his hands. Finding that strange, but he would continue the battle, as Naruto would throw a punch straight at the direction of what's it called, of Sasuke, and like Naruto was just that fast. Like he's fast enough to actually keep up with Sasuke. Sasuke's still able to dodge his blows, but eventually it would get to the point where like the fight starts escalating and escalating and escalating, and like damage is actually being done to the training grounds itself. Like a Chidori would even be busted out by Sasuke, and Naruto's like brings out a Rasengan. But in the midst of that, Tsunade would end up punching the ground and saying she doesn't need two of her top shinobis killing themselves over a sparring match, with Naruto and Sasuke grinning at each other and saying that they'll finish this later. As Naruto and Sasuke would just smile, like acknowledging each other as rivals, and ultimately we would end up getting a really cool scene in which like all of them just go out for some ramen, but suddenly an Anbu member would end up actually summoning the three of them the next day, telling them, hey, Lady Tsunade needs you to report to the office immediately. From here, they would all be told about the fact that Kazekage Gaara was actually kidnapped by Deidara and Sasori. And it would be at this point that Naruto, Sasuke, Sakura, like everybody's just like stunned. They're like, what? Like Gaara was captured? Naruto's more stunned than everyone, because he's like, yo, like that's actually crazy. You know what I mean? As we basically just get Team 7 heading on towards the direction of the Sand Village. Sakura would end up saving Kankuro, Lady Chiyo would end up joining the group, and once we would end up arriving to said Deidara versus Sasori battle, it would be overkill, to say the least. Like, let's give it a buck. Naruto could beat Deidara and Sasori by himself at this point. He doesn't have access to Sage Mode, and he doesn't have access to the Rasen Shuriken. Naruto also isn't that great at controlling the power of the Nine Tails, but you know what Naruto does have? Tons and tons of Celestial Spirits. The ability to summon 3 Celestial Spirits at the same time. The ability to summon, like, each spirit, close their gates, summon another one, close it, summon, close, summon, close, summon, close. Like, and like, he has so much chakra. Like, it's just not even funny, bro. Like, Naruto's gotten so good, and his Celestial Spirits have gotten such a huge upgrade from the fact that Naruto is just that powerful that, like, it's just overkill. Sasuke was able to beat Deidara on his own in the original, and this version of Sasuke, I'd beg to differ, is actually a little stronger than the one that we get in the original. Sakura's there, which is, you know, like, she exists, but Kakashi's there, which is the main key player. And because Sasuke was actually training with Kakashi, this means that Kakashi also got a power boost. Lady Chiyo's there helping them take out Sasori. So the way that I see this battle going down is as such. Sasuke and Kakashi would actually be in, we've already seen Sasuke versus Deidara. So no, I think that Sasuke, Lady Chiyo, and Sakura are going to be the ones responsible of taking out Deidara, or Sasori, sorry, just because I think that, Sasuke wants to be there for Sakura and wants to make sure that she's, good in the fight. And the way that I see this battle going is like Sakura rushes in, she's like fighting, but Sasuke like jumps in the way whenever there's an attack that's about to hit her. And like, he just boom, like he blocks it and attacks Sasori with like him asking, "You okay, Sakura?" And her being like, "Yeah," like she like blushes slightly, and they fight, and like Lady Chiyo would be coaching them through it until eventually we would get a moment in which Sasuke would actually be able to land a perfect Chidori right on Sasori's weak spot, destroying Sasori and ultimately defeating him. As Deidara this time around wouldn't be defeated by Sasuke, like I said, but instead this time around would be defeated by Naruto and Kakashi, who both rush him. And since Naruto was in a situation where he's like, "Oh, like I can't, I'm having a hard time like chasing this guy," Naruto would actually end up summoning Gemini, because this, like Deidara was using a clay bird, so Gemini literally just ended up like transforming into the same giant bird that Deidara was using, and they would end up chasing Deidara down as he was throwing explosions upon explosions. But Naruto, every time that an explosion would come like at his direction, Ares would be there with them, and anytime that a clay object would come flying at them, Ares' wool would literally just protect them. Like boom, like it's like it's almost like an explosion underwater is what would end up happening because of Ares' abilities, her crazy ability to shoot wool at things. And this would end up basically leaving Deidara to be sort of useless, as eventually Naruto's getting very, very tired of Deidara doing this, and he would tell Ares to shoot more wool attacks at the direction of Deidara. Eventually Deidara would realize that he's not in a good position, and after a bit of time, Kakashi would end up deciding that this is getting old real fast, using Kamui. As in a bit of a gruesome scene, Kakashi would actually end up sniping Deidara's head clean off of his body, and Deidara, like that's it, Deidara is no more. From here, the team would end up regrouping and end up realizing that they've completed the mission. Because Sasuke never left, this means that they don't end up caring about finding information on Orochimaru, finding information on Sasuke, because they don't even have to go on the Tenro Bridge arc or anything like that. Meaning Sai and Yamato, those two garbage characters, I mean Yamato's cool, Sai's garbage, right? Yamato's cool. I wish that they would have given him a different character design. I don't like his eyes, his face just creeps me out. But if he was given a different character design, I think he would actually be a fan favorite. Maybe like a more cool melatonin character who has wood style and is like just like, I don't know, like just something different, right? But yeah, no, Yamato definitely could have been taken care of differently. And because of this, the team would just be in the village carrying on with normal missions. Now, here's where things get a little interesting, because Sasuke, Sakura, and Naruto being in the village doesn't change the fact that Hidan and Kakuzu would still end up going on to face off against Shikamaru, Ino, Choji, and Asuma. And unfortunately, this still leads to the death of Asuma. And this in turn means that Naruto, Sakura, and Sasuke, basically Konoha's Justice League, would be summoned to actually go and help them with defeating the Akatsuki. And they would do just that. They would end up arriving and playing absolutely zero games. Like Shikamaru by himself was able to handle Hidan. Naruto was able to beat Kakuzu by literally just getting close to him and hitting him once. This time, I think that I kind of want to give a moment for Sasuke to shine, right? Where because Naruto doesn't actually have access to the Rasen Shuriken, and obviously, you know, he has Celestial Spirits and all that stuff, I really just do want to give a moment for Sasuke to shine. And so here's what I want to have happen. Now, Sasuke's basically going to shoot Chidori's stream into the sky, which would in turn end up creating a cloudy environment. He would tell Naruto to hold him off for just a minute or so, and Naruto would go do so as he's like, what are you planning, Sasuke? And Sasuke would say, look, don't spoil all the fun, don't beat him too quickly, Naruto. So he would go in the battle and like face off against Kakuzu, like holding him off, like acting like he's trying his absolute hardest when he's really not. And eventually he would get to a point where himself and Kakuzu were just like stand still in the middle of a fight. Kakuzu eventually would be sent flying back by a kick from Naruto, and Sasuke would look at Kakuzu and say, look, you're done for. Or no, he would just look at him and be like, be gone with the thunderclap. Bam! And a like gigantic Kirin blast would shoot from the sky, absolutely dismantling Kakuzu. Like instead of getting the Rasengan this time, we're gonna be getting Kirin, which is just such a cool jutsu, by the way. And so right after that happens, they end up returning to the village, and here the timeline sort of like begins to like start fixing itself, where now we get this whole moment where Sasuke would make it back to his house, and in making it back to his house, he would find a literal, just straight up a letter there. I almost want to say a bottle with a letter, but like that's just too like funny, and just unrealistic. It would just be like a letter there, right, with like a black crow feather on top of it, right? And Sasuke, the second he sees this, he would think like, Itachi, like what do you want? Like what games are you playing? As he would look around like expecting to see Kakashi in his room somehow. Like I don't know why, but that would be such a cool scene if like in his head, like bro, like actually never mind, this has to be seen in the thing. Sasuke seeing this letter would trigger his PTSD, right? Like he'd be like, Itachi, as he looks around in the room with the Sharingan active, and like he's so dang like convinced that Itachi's there, like waiting to ambush him, that he turns and like sees like a mirage of Itachi as he rushes it with the Chidori, but bam, he hits nothing, and then he realizes Itachi wasn't there. It was just in his head. Suddenly he grabs the letter and would like crumple it up as rage would fill him, and he would just think to himself that he has to go kill Itachi. Finally, his chance is here, and all the emotions that he had been suppressing over the last years would instantly come to the surface, where now Sasuke would find himself in a situation where he goes and faces off against Itachi, and this battle goes down just like it does in the original, which in turn means that we would still get the I love you Sasuke scene, and then Obito still ends up kidnapping Sasuke, which is actually a good thing. I was contemplating not having it happen, but it's actually a good thing for Sasuke, because this version of Sasuke is still going to be getting the insane power up he gets because of this, but he's not going to actually have to be evil, and I think that that's the best possible outcome. Unfortunately, Sasuke won't be there for the pain attack, but I think that Naruto, with the help of his celestial spirits, would actually have just enough power to actually end up defeating Pain. And I just got the coolest idea. Okay. So Pain would end up arriving to the village. Naruto doesn't learn Sage Mode, right? This time around, like the frog thing still got there, but Naruto was like, I don't need Sage Mode. Like Master Jiraiya knows that I'm more than powerful enough to defeat this Akatsuki guy. And like Naruto would just be like super confident. And eventually like Naruto would want to do Sage Mode training, but he would actually put it off, like because right now he's in the process of training to get the Rasen Shuriken, which is something that he's going to be training for this so that he doesn't learn Sage Mode. Because if he learns Sage Mode in this specific section, like Pain's not going to stand a chance. Like, I'm sorry to say it, but Pain's not going to stand a chance. So instead, here's what we're going to have happen. Naruto's not going to learn that. He's going to learn the Rasen Shuriken. And so when Pain ends up arriving and uses the almighty push, and he sends everything flying back and like just so much destruction, Naruto would end up arriving like amidst all of the destruction in this like debris, as he would look at all the paths of Pain, and he would just look at him and ask him why he would do this. Just like in dead silence, looking down, as like Naruto in the original didn't have to see the devastation. This time around, Naruto does. And he would look at Pain with this like look in his eyes where one eye would be like the Kurama eye and the other would be normal and tears would be coming out. Suddenly Naruto would like start bugging as like he can just like see, he knows so many people just died then and he wasn't able to stop it. And Naruto just like, he loses it, dude. Like two tails of Kurama's power would just end up shooting out of him as Naruto would hold one hand on the ground and say, summoning jutsu, Aries, Taurus, Leo, Capricorn, Virgo, and literally like 1, 2, 3, 4, like I don't know how many celestial spirits I just said, bro, but like that many spirits would shoot out with Leo, and like with Leo being like, Naruto, like you can't. I was like, it would be in this moment that Leo was about to be like, you can't summon us all at once. But right as he says that, like he feels like something morph, like the energy source that summoned him here was corrupted. So it sort of corrupts Leo and the rest of the celestial spirits that Naruto summoned. And instead of the ones that we normally get, we would actually end up getting the like weird version ones, right? Like the ones that were like transformed and stuff. Actually, if Capricorn is going to be summoned, then actually I'm going to take that back. So not Capricorn. And instead let's go Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aries, Gemini, Virgo, Leo, and yeah, okay, that's cool. All right, so he summons them, and Naruto, like now, like it's even as he turns towards Pain and says, "Now it's even." Rushing in towards one of the not celestial spirits, but rushing in towards one of the paths of Pain, utterly destroying it with his fist. As like the Diva Path watching this would use an almighty push, and suddenly Aries would create like this wool so that all of them fall into, receiving absolutely no damage. Suddenly Gemini would actually end up transforming into Nagato or Pain and shoot an almighty push back themselves, as Pain would just be like absolutely stunned, like there is no freaking shot. Suddenly Naruto's like would start like glowing his fists, but they'd be like purple, just like the one that we get in the like evil version. Obviously they're not evil, but they're like slightly corrupted, but they are obeying Naruto. They're not like evil and like going against him, right? And Naruto and the celestial spirits, man, they get to work. Like they get busy, and Pain gets absolutely devastated, like demolished. Suddenly Naruto grabs onto the Diva Path's body as he smashes its head in with his foot, grabs one of the receiving rods, and would wonder if there's any way that they can like find this individual. As Naruto would just like begin wondering, like, how can I track down the person responsible for this? And he's just like wondering, like, what does he do, right? Like he doesn't have like these like insane sensory abilities. And then it would get to the point where he's just stuck, like and so yeah, like Naruto actually wouldn't be able to find Pain without Sage Mode. So that is a minus, meaning couple of bad things happen, meaning all those villagers that died, they kind of stay dead. But the people that didn't die in the original story, you know, like Kakashi lives, right? So, you know, that's a plus. So those people unfortunately stay dead. Yeah, but rest in peace, 1,000+ villagers. But Naruto in this moment is just like, okay, like I need to find this guy and absolutely destroy him. And Nagato's just in his like hideout, just like, yo, like this guy, like what is wrong with him? Naruto would finally snap out of it and would realize like he needs to get more powerful. Like he doesn't care how easily he destroyed him. He wants to utterly annihilate the Akatsuki. They killed so many villagers, and Naruto can't let that slide. He would eventually end up like wondering when Sasuke's coming back too, because Sasuke should have been there at the village as well, and there'd be like a little bit of resentment from Naruto towards, no, that's not true. That's not, you know, that's not the Naruto we know. Yeah, no, that's just completely ignore what I just said. That was so dumb. Okay, what happens after that? Pain's taken care of. Okay. Because of this crazy attack that would end up happening, Sasuke would actually be told that he has to go and capture Killer Bee. Now, in the original, Sasuke would end up having Taka with him to do all that stuff. This time around, Sasuke won't. But when he ends up making his way towards the village to actually end up capturing Killer Bee, like he does in the original, instead of like not capturing B because he was like confused, he's not gonna capture B on purpose. Basically telling B his plan of like being with the leader of the Akatsuki and telling him that like he's basically just trying to get in his good graces right now, but he's not gonna take it too far and like just hide, like pretend like I did take you. Like this is all for the plan. And B, like not knowing Sasuke at all, just like can tell like Sasuke's like trustworthy. So Sasuke ends up making it back. He ends up like basically telling Obito all these things like of the mission. You know, Sasuke obviously would have access to the Mangekyo Sharingan. And even though Sasuke does want revenge on Danzo, which is like, I'm not gonna lie, nothing stopping him from that. Sasuke's not going to try to destroy the village. Sakura lives there, Naruto lives there, Kakashi lives there, his friends live there. Plus, from what he heard, a lot of the villagers in the village itself literally died, and so did a bunch of ninjas. So like, as far as Sasuke is concerned, they sort of got their punishment. And with that, Sasuke just sort of had to play like, he sort of had to like do like crazy A-grade acting, just like Obito was doing when he was playing his Tobi part. And we would eventually find ourselves at the 5 Kage Summit, where Naruto this time around, unlike in canon, isn't sitting there like begging the Raikage like, please don't put like a crazy like hit on Sasuke. Like he knows Sasuke can handle himself, and he's not sure why Sasuke is like doing this stuff, but he knows there's a reason behind it. So Naruto would be there at the 5 Kage Summit. The whole like little like Sakura I love you thing wouldn't happen because, you know, obviously she's dating Sasuke. So Naruto would be right next to right there like in the area, and Danzo would end up going as the replacement Kage, just like we get in the original. Sasuke still ends up like arriving at the 5 Kage Summit, but this time around he's not there to necessarily like fight the Kages, kill them. Like he's straight up there for Danzo, and this would be his only like villain arc moment in this whole series, like post his trying to leave the village, right? He would end up absolutely murking Danzo. Like there's no other way to say it. Danzo just gets straight up GG'd. Like just like in the original, Danzo gets absolutely murdered. Like it's just a walk in the park. And eventually, once he ends up meeting like the group team 7 like there, and he sees Kakashi, he sees Sakura, and he sees Naruto there, he would look at them and like literally just retreat, saying, "You're not my target." As you know, Obito would end up finding Sasuke, and Sasuke tells him like, "I can't see, like I need my brother's eyes immediately." As like he's giving off like that or like evil like bloodlust vibe, right? And like he would end up getting the eternal Mangekyo Sharingan, and once that happens, Sasuke is still understanding of the fact that, okay, I can't beat this guy, but now I have the power where me, Naruto, Sakura, and Kakashi working together, we can make it happen. Like he knows they can. And so now Sasuke just has to sort of bide his time, and eventually we would get the events of the war arc playing down just like they do in the original, except this time around Sasuke's on their side the whole time. He was just sort of playing at the role of I'm evil, he ha 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 ha, you know what I mean? And ultimately, we would find ourselves with the same battles that go down just like in the original, meaning Naruto still ends up bumping into the Raikage. I mean, it's actually not going to be the same. I completely like messed up because, or should it be? Because Naruto low-key does need that training with Killer Bee to finally like get over that hurdle of like defeating the Nine Tails, controlling its powers. So actually, yeah, I am going to say that stuff happens. Naruto is going to be sent to Turtle Island on an S rank mission alongside Killer Bee, and on this journey, Naruto has to face his inner like evilness, right? And with that, Naruto ends up winning just like he does in the original, right? Like nothing's going to be changing there. If anything, I think it's going to be easier because Naruto has made more friends along the road. Naruto has gotten Sasuke to return to the village. He's just confused right now because Sasuke is like doing all these weird things where he doesn't seem evil, but like he's not sure what's going on with Sasuke. The last time he saw him, Sasuke genuinely looked like he seriously wanted to fight them, but it's almost like Sasuke wasn't willing to kill them, which is interesting for somebody that's a rogue ninja, quote unquote. So Naruto's just confused. He eventually gets to the point where he would end up tapping into the power of KCM1 Kurama, which I'm not even gonna like hide it. Naruto's celestial spirits get so much stronger just because of the fact that Naruto taps into KCM1. Now it's going to be clean energy that's going to be powering them, and the versions of the celestial spirits we got in the pain fight are practically going to be jokes to the ones that we're going to be getting because of Naruto's brand new power source, right? Because of this, we would end up getting battles like Itachi, Nagato versus or actually no, like Nagato's still alive. Nagato is literally still alive, and Itachi's the only one there. Unfortunately, this time around, Naruto never had this whole thing happen where he and Itachi ran into each other, and because of that, Naruto ended up getting the crow. So Itachi would actually genuinely have to be defeated, and this is going to be one of the hard battles for Naruto to face, but not impossible. Naruto in this in the original version was keeping up with Itachi fairly well, and even though Itachi like was doing all the crazy stuff, like he still had the will of his own, like where he didn't want to like fully beat Naruto. So he basically ended up going into a fight with Naruto where he told him the weaknesses of the Uchihas, and basically ended up telling him that there's only one way to undo this jutsu, telling Naruto that he has to take one of his eyes. Naruto being like, what? And Itachi's just like, you have to use this specific jutsu, and Naruto would just be like, okay, or he can't take one of his eyes. Itachi doesn't have his eyes. Oh snap, that's a complication. Oh, Naruto beats Itachi, okay, that's the point. Nagato's not there, so that fight would be a lot easier considering Naruto would have Killer Bee's backup for that moment. And once we get past that, they would eventually end up running into Raikage versus Tsunade, unless that was before. But even if that was before, they still end up handling that like bosses. And once we get those sections of the story out, we can now focus on like the ending of the story, which is like Obito versus Kakashi, Might Guy, and things along that nature, right? Once we get to this territory, this is where things get sort of interesting, because now Sasuke's currently in the process of summoning the previous Kage, and like in the original, I wish I could say that that Sasuke would be able to undo the reanimation jutsu, but this time around, that's not happening. They're gonna actually have to like individually defeat each and every single one of these reanimation like jutsu people, and it's gonna be very hard for them, which means that Madara is actually gonna be slightly stronger just due to the fact that he gets to keep his immortality for a little bit longer than he would end up actually liking. But that's neither there nor here. That means that during the battle with the 5 Kage, Madara absolutely crushes them, and we would eventually find ourselves face to face with Naruto facing off against Obito, asking him what he did to Sasuke, that he knows that Sasuke would have never ran off the way that he did, and that there has to be something different going on, with Obito just being like, no, that's the darkness within Sasuke, you don't know your friend. And Sasuke, I'd like to think of a cool scene popping up here where Sasuke like body flickers in there and he's like, no, you don't know me. As Naruto would look at Sasuke, I would ask him where he's been, with Sasuke basically saying that he was around, as he would show off his eternal Mangekyo, and he'd be like, pretty cool, right? With Naruto saying, sure is, you're gonna use that thing to help us fight this guy or what? With Sasuke saying, of course, what else would I be here for? And Naruto would grin as Sasuke would do so as well, and the both of them would just sort of stare at Obito as they would like smile, and instantly Naruto and Sasuke would blitz at Obito, as Obito would just like phase through them, and this would eventually lead Naruto to getting extremely annoyed. Naruto would look to Kakashi, asking him to help them out with this fight, and so Kakashi would begin using Kamui to actually help out with defeating Obito, which would eventually lead to them finding out about Obito actually being Obito, right? Obito being Obito, and this would eventually lead to the battle between Kakashi and Obito in the Kamui dimension, which is just an absolute banger. Like, I honestly could have taken this battle out, but I just can't. Like, I love this fight so much, and it's one of my favorite Naruto fights of all time. Seriously, it's just that good. So Obito versus Kakashi goes down, and once Kakashi would end up actually defeating Obito, or so we would think, Obito would make it back to the normal world, and Naruto would be there waiting for him with a Rasengan as he would slam it into Obito, or so he would think, but Obito would literally just rush towards the Ghetto statue as he would end up merging with the Ten Tails and become the Ten Tails Jinchuriki. This is where all the cards completely fall on the table, and Sasuke and Naruto are now like tasked with having to defeat this insanely monstrous Obito, who just literally looks so unbeatable in this moment. But Naruto would go on and just smile as he would say, you know, I would be worried if I didn't have friends that are always by my side. Obviously, you know, like I had to include that corny fairy tale moment, but you know, in my opinion, it's endearing, you know, I like it. But Naruto in this moment would then say, open Libra, as he would summon Libra, and using Libra he would make Obito like lose his sense of balance. Like Obito would be completely off balance, and then suddenly Naruto would say, "Open Pisces," as the gate of Pisces would actually be open, and now Obito would be tasked to go up against Pisces, who are like just absolutely destroying this dude in their like human forms. Like they're going in on him alongside Naruto and Sasuke, and like they're just going in on Obito. Mind you, he's not able to phase because I don't know, like Kishimoto for some reason made it so that Obito wasn't able to phase in the 10-tail state, which obviously I think is a personal nerf so that the battle was doable, but because of that, it just makes this battle so much easier. Obito would be defeated without the use of the Takno Jutsu, and Obito would find himself on the ground like so fast, as ultimately the 10 tails would be extracted out of him, and the main key player would finally end up arriving, Madara Uchiha. Once Madara would make his presence known, everything would be completely flipped on its head. And Madara would make one thing very clear: he is going to enact the infinite Tsukiyomi. But Naruto and Sasuke both look at each other and say, "First one to beat him wins." As Naruto says, "Deal," as they both rush in and Madara, and Sasuke busts out the Susanoo, right, with Naruto using a water jutsu, and then instantly just going Aquarius, summoning Aquarius, who would shoot a massive water attack at Madara, who literally just creates this gigantic wind jutsu that just shoots that water, completely like negating it. As Naruto realizes like how powerful Madara is, he would then like in his like KCM form still would end up like jumping up into the air, as like his outfit would change, and Taurus would be summoned as a battle hammer would appear on him, and he would swing it down on Madara, who would hold his like staff and would shoot a truth-seeking orb at Naruto. But in that moment, this like wall would appear right in between it, as the wall would be completely disintegrated, and it would just just disappear right in front of him as Naruto gets closer and closer, and suddenly we would end up getting Cancer shooting in out of nowhere, slicing at Madara, as Naruto would thank him before then like charging some of Leo's powers in his fist and just sending an absolute brutal punch right inside of Madara's stomach, just like literally leaving it there, as suddenly Sasuke using a Madarasu would like shoot it at the direction of Madara, and finally he would come down with a gigantic Susanoo arrow, which would just absolutely wreck Madara, straight up Dragon Ball Z style, leaving nothing behind, with Naruto and Sasuke just looking at each other and being like, "Looks like I win," with them each looking at each other and being like, "What? No, I won." You know what I mean? Just getting to this like really funny like fairy tale like fight moment where it's just like, it's just the perfect ending in my opinion. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be where this version of What If not this version, but where today's video is going to be ending. Thank you guys so much for making it to the end of the video, but seriously, I need to cut this thing short. My mouth is so insanely dry. Like towards the last 10 minutes, I was kind of dreading making this video just because like my throat is so dry right now. Like I'm genuinely thinking I might get sick. So I'm gonna go drink a ton of water. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Leave a like, don't forget, leave a comment, let me know what your favorite part was, and comment down below some what if suggestions, as well as report your attendance down below. I will be taking that. That said, peace.